Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Can you guys give a quick thumbs up if you're able to hear me and see me clearly? I want to see a few thumbs ups over here if you're able to see it. Yes? Great, great. Awesome. So, Malik Virani, are you able to hear me now? Are you able to hear me? Give a quick thumbs up in the chat. Yes? Good afternoon, guys. Good afternoon. Good to see you, everyone. Good to see you guys. So, we'll start the session now and let's begin it. First of all, I want to thank you all for joining us today, right? Whether you are streaming in from Airmeet or you have joined it from YouTube, LinkedIn, from different platforms, I hope all of you guys are doing great and feeling pumped up for today's masterclass. It's something which is very, very important to discuss. It's something which is very important aspect of your journey from starting to learn to finally get a job, right? So we appreciate you all for choosing to time this hour, sharpening your edge in this world of data science and AI. So I am Alok Anand. I have more than 8 years of experience now in the field of data science and AI. I have worked at companies like American Express, Blackbuck as machine learning engineer, blend of both machine learning, data science, and backend development. I'm also co-founder at Alma Better, and I am dean of Alma Better University. And today we will have Deepak, who is Alma Better graduate and now working as business analyst at Amazon, will be joining on stage soon, and he will be sharing his journey, how he started, why he started, in fact, and then after that, how he kind of got the final goal achieved. So that is what we are going to talk about. It's going to be action packed. It's going to be a lot of information because when we talk about portfolio, it is something which is very, very important aspect of your journey. First you start, you work on projects, you gain some skills. How do you showcase to your recruiter? How do you showcase to your interviewer? How do you create your resume? All of those things are going to be part of our agenda today. So we will start with first agenda, that is data scientist. Who are they? We will start with that so that you guys are aware about whoever have joined. I'm sure you are from different backgrounds. Maybe as a fresher, you want to get into this field, or as a working professional, you want to get into the field. You want to understand first what data scientists they do, right? Who are data analysts? Who are data scientists? How do we understand about this field, about this career choice further? Then we will dive into our topic, that is professional portfolio. How do we create it? We will talk about some of the sample resumes and how do you look at each and every component in your resume in a very clear, crisp format. Okay. Then we will talk about role of Alma Better. How do we look at it? How we have gained experience through interacting with 5,000, 10,000 plus students, plus interacting with our hiring partners, and we have come up with the formula which kind of works out for our students who get placed. And you will hear from Deepak as well, who is one of our alumni working at Amazon. So what we do, how we do it, what is our thought process, you will kind of feel during our session itself, because the portfolio, as I mentioned, it's going to be one of the important thing which we think about a lot. Because at the end of it, if you have learned and if you're not able to showcase your skills and projects to recruiter or the companies, it's going to be of no use, right? So how to do that, we will come to that just in some time. Okay. And at the end we will have Q&A session. So feel free to utilize this session, feel free to utilize this opportunity to get your doubts cleared. Whatever comes to your mind, please ensure that you guys are asking in the chat, or you can utilize Q&A and you can put up in other platforms as well in the comment, and it will be answered through me as well as my team. Okay. So grab your notebook, keep the chat lively, right? There will be polls coming in. There will be, if there are some questions, you can ask it in the chat. I will try to interact and ensure that you guys are getting the best out of this time which you have invested in this session. So get ready to turn skills into interview winning experience, starting with the portfolio. So we will move further now. We'll move further from here, and we are going to talk about our first journey. So let me share my screen again. Okay. So let's start with first topic as Data scientists, who are they, right? Here, I'm sure a lot of you might have heard, and I'm sure you have heard about this term data scientist, data analyst, and different roles related to this, where analyst is written. So let's first talk about who are these guys? What do they do? Right? Now, there are four terms over here you might see, right? I'm sure you are able to see my screen and you can see these four terms. Make self-driving cars a reality, power AI chatbots or assistants, prevent financial fraud, revolutionize healthcare. Now, these are some things which are very marketed. You guys know about it, right? And this is also true that data scientists, machine learning engineers, all these roles which you see comes under the field of data science. So data science has become a field now, and it has lot of different roles, and they have their own space in this whole industry what they work on. Like data scientists, they work on making self-driving car a reality. They have gathered the data, they have looked at the data, seen how it translate to the hardware and software, what action should be taken. It depends upon the surrounding, right? And what decision to be made is something data scientists they work on. Data scientists, they bring the intelligence into the system. Understand this if I have to give one liner to this. Data scientists, they bring intelligence in the system. So when self-driving car is, let's say, being made, then there will be a person as a data scientist, team of data scientists, rather, I would say, who are working on what decision should be made based on the data. Let's say you have the different way of collecting the data through camera, through different sensors, and whatever data you are getting. How do you take the relevant decision? And nobody is sitting over there like any driver. He sees the surrounding and take the relevant decision based on the data. How our code, our machine can take the decision, and that is what the intelligence is. Wherever you see the part of intelligence coming in the system, there you will see data scientists as part of it. Okay. Same goes with powered AI assistants and chatbots. Nowadays, you will see all the chatbots are powered by ChatGPT, LLMs, all these Gen AI tools which are integrated over there. If you ask some question, you will not see some human immediately coming in. They will come after some time, but initial few answers and initial few interaction engagement will be done by AI assistants over there. Right now, again, in that process, earlier somebody who was human was interacting with you directly, but now the first layer will be done by intelligent systems. Again, the same thing. There is an intelligence coming in the system, and data scientists, they will be part of it. The other side, preventing financial fraud. Like if I give my example, I have worked at American Express, and that is a credit card issuing company, right? They work with all across the world with millions and millions of people, and they use the credit card of American Express. Lot of frauds, lot of different scenarios comes in. How do I analyze the pattern of spend? How do I analyze the profile of any person so that I can say that there is a fraud done on their credit card? Imagine from the customer point of view how important it is, right? It's very important to identify these cases, and it matters a lot for companies like American Express, Visa, Mastercard. They have big teams who work on preventing this financial fraud, and preventing comes with first as identification. How do I identify that the transaction that is being done within microsecond, whether this is a right transaction or wrong transaction, fraud transaction, right? Next goes with revolutionize healthcare. Nowadays, this is something which is at peak. It's something which is all companies are rooting into, because healthcare is something too much driven by human, too much driven by doctors. Of course, doctors are not going to go away, but this works as a supplement to overall system, where the diagnosis that is happening, right? All the diagnosis, everything which you see, that is happening. How any AI system can analyze and give some recommendation. Recently, I read one of the news where people were just taking their uh, reports, all the diagnosis reports. right? They are putting it in chat gpt, and chat gpt gives them a very clear direction. In some cases, some diseases were identified which doctors could not do, because there is a limitation on doctors as well. There is a level of experience over there as well. So somebody who is, let's say, very new as a doctor, having the experience of, let's say, 3 to 4 years, they might miss out on something which somebody having 5, 10, 15 years of experience they have. So this AI intelligence systems bring in these experiences together and gives you a relevant direction to think about to the doctors, right? So these are the things, you know this, right? These are the things you have heard about it, right? And if I talk about the data scientists, they bring in the intelligent intelligence in the system. Everywhere in any industry, if there is a layer where intelligence is something that is needed, you are going to place data scientist or data analyst over there to make data driven decisions, to make data driven intelligence systems, right? Now, it's not just limited to this. People talk about this, people mention all these things, but they forget to mention about in our daily lives or in our companies, right? Wherever we work, it's not just about these three, four things. There are a lot more processes in the system which runs on, which requires the intelligence. And that is where I want to come. That is where I want to come in over here, where we have certain industries. Let's say if I talk about certain industries over here, and you can see there is a poll that has been live for you. You can participate in that and try to kind of interact with this whole journey of data science. Let's say there are some industries, e-commerce, ott platforms. There are industries like food tech, Swiggy, Zomato, these kind of companies are inside that. Financial companies, so who like fintech companies, or rather I would say as an industry, right? So those are the companies, what are different problem statements people are working on as a data scientist or data analyst, right? This gives you a very clear understanding of getting more deeper into the system. So if I talk about e-commerce, where we have Amazon, Myntra, Flipkart, all these different all these different companies, they work on personalized product recommendation. When you go to Amazon, when you search something, the product listing that is shown to you, it's not just random, it's not just any logic, it's personalized to you. There is a data scientist who has worked on the logic of that, what should be shown, how it should be shown, right? So all those things has been designed by someone by using the concepts present in data science. There is a separate topic altogether, how do you design the recommender systems, right? So when we will talk about the curriculum little bit during our role of Alma Better, I will mention that neural networks, recommender systems, these are the topics which you cover, and this is where it is will be. These are going to be plugged in, and you are going to implement it. Fraud product detection. So in your overall cycle, there is a seller, there is a buyer, right? There is a delivery centers. There are a lot of different things over there in a ecosystem of Amazon, if I or ecosystem of e-commerce. So somebody who is putting up, let's say, fraud product detection, right? So if I somebody is putting their fraud products, so somebody has to highlight it, otherwise it impacts the customer experience. And Amazon, Flipkart, these big companies invest a lot in these, that wherever there is a fraud product or product with very very questionable review, they want to take that down and take some action against that, right? Chatbot development, I mentioned it. Image and voice recognition, you will see now you can just say something, and based on that it will give you the recommendation of the products, right? This is very helpful if you think about it. If you not everybody is comfortable with typing, think about tier 2, tier 3 cities. When you go more deeper into the in India, if you think about, you need these kind of voice and images, and think about the older people, how helpful this becomes, right? So every process, these are again just a subset of thousands and thousands of problem statements that are going on. Let's say how marketing campaign should be done, what kind of discount should be given, everything is driven by someone who has the experience or someone who has the understanding of data science. Next, let's say if I give you the example of OTT platforms, right? All of us are aware about it. We have been interacting with all these OTT platforms on a daily basis now. Netflix, Sony Live, Hotstar, now it is Geo Hotstar, Prime Video, all these different platforms which you have already interacted with. Lot of things goes in the back end, right? Whatever content is recommended to you, you will see. And Netflix is forefront on using the data science in their overall platform. So how content recommendation should be given, right? How this should be kind of looked at as Personalized thumbnail also is given to you. You can see auto generated thumbnails. So whatever is shown to you based on your persona, based on your likes or dislikes, thumbnails are also generated from the overall movie or from overall TV shows, so that you are kind of inclined towards clicking on it, watching the few minutes of it, so that it brings in the interest, right? And more time you spend over there. Subtitle generation. So nowadays it has become so easy to produce one movie, to have one movie in one particular language, and then add subtitles in different languages immediately, right? And with a very good accuracy as well. So these are the things, again, as I mentioned, multiple different things data scientists, data analysts will work on. These are few things you will find it in OTT platform. What I am trying to tell you over here is there are some marketed terms, right? There are some marketed terms like self-driving cars, chatbots, financial fraud, but there are some things which also data scientists, data analysts, they work on a daily basis. No matter in whichever company you join in, there is a use case, there is a system, and there every company wants to add the intelligence, right? Next is, let's say, food tech, fintech. So in food tech, you can now start imagining this, right? There are personalized discounts, then there are restaurant recommendation, food recommendation, all those things are given to you. In fact, one of the very interesting thing which food tech companies like Zomato and Swiggy, specifically Zomato, they use, that what type of notification should be sent to you, when it should be sent to you, right? That is also one of the use case of utilizing the data, your behavior, to say that, okay, right now I should be sending at, let's say, 6 p.m. Alok generally orders the snacks, so I'm going to send a notification so that it triggers, right? So these are the use cases. At the end of it, these are the practices done by all the companies, and they want to make system more and more driven by data, and system should be intelligent, right? Lastly, I mentioned about fintech, fraud detection. Gen AI based algorithmic trading is something which has come up, which makes the overall research part to put in or take out some money. All those things are now based on the Gen AI and the recent developments which you guys have seen, right? So these are the problem statements, more or less, you have already seen, where you are going to talk about here that how does it look when you are going to work in a company. I see there is a poll which you guys have interacted with, right? So in which company or in which industry you want to apply your data science skills? E-commerce, healthcare, finance. I can see people are participating over here. Now, one very interesting part you guys might have not have noticed, the space and NASA, right? I have uh, like kind of put it over here so that you guys have to think from a different perspective as well. Let's say if I talk about space, NASA, what type of problem statements they might be working on, and they are working on using the data science. So you can imagine, nowadays every machine, every satellite, every rocket that goes in space, lots and lots of decisioning that is being made is automatic, like self-driving cars. They analyze what should be the trajectory, what should be the right landing place, what should be the right approach to get inside the gravity, etc., etc., right, in the orbit, etc., etc. So there are a lot of problem statements there also people have started working on, and this is an industry which is growing now. You will see in upcoming 10, 15, 20 years, lots and lots of data science, data analysts, these kind of roles are going to be opened up, and lots of people are going to be participating in that, because there lots of data is coming in, and it's not just the role of sending the rockets or satellites. After that, the data which you get through, let's say, satellites, how that is utilized. In fact, I know one of the company, they work on capturing the images through satellites, and they will tell you the what's the yield of any crop. Lot of use cases in agriculture if you kind of merge these two, right? And then you, on top of it, you have maps, etc., etc., which comes in, right? So these are some problem statements what data decisions what data scientist or data analyst they work on, right? At the end of it, it's all about bringing that data driven decisioning in the system, as well as bringing that intelligence system in the process. That is where data science or all the roles inside that will pitch in to make it happen, right? Now, multiple times I have mentioned about data analyst versus data scientist, right? How many of you here understand about this, right? How many of you here understand about the data scientist and data analyst. Okay. So there is a poll which has come up, right? Which there's a poll which I have come up. You can participate it over there. I just want to understand from you guys that how comfortable you guys are in terms of understanding the difference, because multiple times you will hear, you will have some inclination towards data scientist because there is a scientist term in this. How do you understand about this, right? How do you differentiate about this? Okay. So I can see people are little bit, I can definitely see from the poll is very few people they are comfortable with understanding the difference. Rest everyone here who are like they are curious about understanding it, and that is why we have included this particular slide in our class, right? So that you understand things very clearly, and this session is going to give you a direction towards the end. So when I talk about data analyst versus data scientist, there are two terms which you should keep it in mind when you want to explain it. First is diagnostic analysis. Second is predictive analytics. Okay. So data scientist, when you join the company as a data analyst, you are going to work on the diagnostic analysis. Now, you will ask, what is diagnostic analysis? How do I understand this? So it's all about telling about the status quo. Now, it means you have gone to a doctor. Doctor will suggest you some diagnosis to do. You will go do some blood test. What is the proper purpose of that? That data will be given to doctor to make some decision, to look at what is happening right now. What is the status quo? Status quo means what is this present scenario? How does it look like? So example will be, let's say you join any company as data analyst. Revenue of that company has gone down by 10%. What are the factors why it has gone down by 10%? That is what you will be answering for. You do the diagnosis, you do the root cause analysis. We call it as root cause analysis, right? Mostly this is what data analysts they do. What happened, based on that, what is the what are the causes of that, right? What are the root causes of that? You try to figure out using the past data, right? If somebody is telling you that, tell me why revenue has gone down by a certain percentage, the immediate thought process will come to your mind is, okay, let me look at what all products ka sale gone down, how market is right now. So you will start looking at the existing data, past data, to give the thought process over there. Root causes, what are those for? What are the root causes for this particular dip in revenue, right? That is what your diagnostic analysis is. Now, if I connect with predictive analytics, right? So when you do the diagnosis, when you understand the root causes, you try to understand or predict the future, right? You try to predict the future. So it means, let's say this year my revenue went down by 10%. Look at some factors and tell me next 2 years what will be the revenue, what will be the range of revenue, because from that I am going to utilize the understanding around how much inventory I should put, how much resources I should be investing in. That is what you will be getting, and more better decisioning you are going to make. So from here, where you understand the root cause, you get into predicting something for the future, right? And this is where machine learning comes in. This is where you use Python, SQL, dashboarding tools, and statistics. And when you go more towards the experience, 1 or 2 years of experience, you tend to get into the predictive side. You start predicting what's going to be there in the future, right? Then your machine learning, modeling, deep learning, big data, all those things starts coming up. You forecast, you predict things, right? And that is where more or less your roles become like a data scientist. It's a progression. To become a data scientist, you have to be comfortable with diagnosis, because until unless you don't diagnose, you can't predict. You have to understand that what are those factors, what are those root causes which affects the revenue, and based on that you are going to say that next year this is what is going to be the scenario, right? This is what the difference is. So anywhere, anytime, if you want to understand the difference between data analyst and this data scientist, you just have to think from the diagnostic versus predictive. Diagnostic, if I am looking at the current scenario, finding out the root causes, I am a data analyst. Okay, I'm trying to utilize the data to tell why revenue has gone down. When I'm going to get more experienced, I'm going to get into predictive analytics side, right? Where I'm going to predict that okay, this year it has gone down by 10%. What are the factors? Now what will be for next 2 years or next quarter? However you want to predict it further, right? This is how you differentiate, right? Next is, there are some terms you might have heard: market analyst, risk analyst, business analyst, product analyst. These are the terms also with analyst you will see, and many more such terms, right? So you just have to understand, when we do the analysis, it's not about something which is very much like only in one department your use cases are going to be there. So when you join a company and you work with marketing team to help them understand that which platform is actually working better, should I invest ad on TV or on radio or on Facebook or digital marketing, any sort of that, right? So if you want to analyze those data, if you want to look at the return on investment, market analyst you will be called. When you work with, let's say, risk, it means finance team, you work on revenue, you work on expenses, you work on those problem statements, you become a risk analyst. But at the end of it, your problem statement will be based on the team and business you are part of. But the tools, the logic, the understanding, whatever you have learned, that is something which is going to be here used, which will be common across your roles. Same goes next as business analyst, right? So when we have this business analyst as a role, you work with sales team, you work with business team, where you are going to give them, okay, these are the potential prospects. Now, these are the prospects. Now, what is the analysis of our salesperson giving a call, quality analysis over there, etc., etc. You do it with that. You go to product, on your platform, on your website, on your app, how people are interacting, how it can be made better, what all different features should be added there so that people are finding it interesting to engage with your app. Those are things, if you analyze, you are going to be called as product analyst, right? So it's all under the umbrella of data analyst. And if you work with one specific team in a company, that is what you will be called over there. Other side, you have ML engineer, AI engineer. So these are the things when you go more into the experience part. When you go into ML engineer, you are working with backend team, more into tech, cloud, etc., etc. will come in over there. So here there is a component of cloud and all. Cloud is AWS, where your data is stored. These are the data centers, everything which you are going to look at. Now we have this AI engineer. AI engineer is what? AI engineers are your someone who utilizes the deep learning and integrate it in the system. AI engineer more towards deep learning. So these are just the roles. You just understand the difference between it. And from after today onwards, if you have listened to it, you should be very much confident about. You can directly say that absolutely I can teach it. It means I can teach the difference between data analyst and data scientist now. Very clear format. Remember terms over here: diagnostic for data analyst, predictive for data scientist, and every role which you have heard, it's all about which part of business you are participating in or you are part of. Great. Now, now it's time to get to towards our topic of the day, right? It was all about giving you guys an understanding that how do we differentiate between data scientist, data analyst, understand the role of data scientist versus data analyst. And next is, now let's understand about professional portfolio, because until unless you don't know about the role which you are getting into, you are aspiring for, you won't be able to design or make your portfolio great. Okay, so let's start with this topic. Now we are going to talk about the first thing in this, which I want to give you guys as a very, very clear thought process and very, very clear understanding. Okay. So when we talk about professional portfolio, what is this? Right? What is this? You have to think about the thought process. You are not just hired for what you know. Okay. Of course, you will be hired. It's a component in your hiring process, but it's not just that. You are hired for what you sow. And this is what I am going to put a emphasis a lot. I'm going to put a lot of emphasis on how do you sow things, right? So from knowing things to show things, this is what the journey of making your portfolio more and more professional. So first part, where we are going to talk about what you know, how do you put it in your resume, right? Resume is one of the, you guys know it already, I believe, right? Resume is one part of your portfolio, which will have multiple things, let's say GitHub, your LinkedIn. So GitHub is the platform where you put your codes and projects ka, all the information what you have done. LinkedIn is again a community where you can apply for jobs, as well as you can showcase your professional journey. It's a platform with all the working professionals or the professionals who are uh, you know kind of part of this platform. ATS resume, as I mentioned, resume is something which will be there, automated tracking system. We will come to that in just some time. You need some dashboards and projects which you can show. This is one side where you showcase to the world. We will deep dive into each and every component. What you see, four components. This is your one, two, three, four, and five different components. We are going to deep dive so that we understand each and everything very clearly. And we have to have that thinking process in mind, right? First thinking process, thought process, which you have to tune up is you are not just hired for what you know, you are hired for what you show. And we will prove that. We are going to get into that in just some time. So there are four components coming to this side. What you have done, experience and projects which you add in your resume, how you think, project descriptions, how do you think will be depicted by your description of project which you put. I have seen people writing it as a paragraph. I have seen people writing in just one or two lines. No, that depicts how you think about any project, right? As a recruiter, if I am looking at your resume, there has to be a certain format for it. Why you matter, after how you think, why you matter, what skills you have achieved, what are your achievements, what's your education. Those all things comes under why you matter. How do you present it? We will come to that. Where you are headed after this, three things, just keep this in mind. What you have done, experience and projects, how you think, project description, why you matter, last point is where you are headed. Now, this summary and the publications. Summary and the publications. When I talk about publication, writing some article on Medium, writing some article on LinkedIn, it does not matter. But some article you are writing in. Now, what I have talked about, it's a very broader term. But next few slides, we are going to go into each and everything, as I mentioned, to get our understanding better and better over here. Now, to showcase further things, I am going to use two resumes. I hope it is visible on the screen. This is what our first resume is. This is for the fresher. If you will check, all these links and everything will be shared in just some time after the session. This presentation, these links, everything will be shared, right? So just look at over here. This is one of the resume. It's for the fresher, and there will be one resume for the working professional, and we will see how each and everything is designed and how do we think about it, how do we write about something in our resume. Now, I have created these two using our own platform. So this is Alma Better's platform. You can use other platform as well. So this is one of the platform which is internal. We create resumes over here. So you can see a lot of sample resumes you can create. And these all resumes are created over here on this platform. You can share it. So what I'm doing here, it's like I'm just taking this particular link and share it with anybody, right? Or I can download the PDF, etc., etc. Not getting too much into the platform. It's just a platform where you can create such resumes. That is going to be a platform which you can use. Otherwise, there are other platforms as well. I will talk about that at the end. Now, going to the next part, we will deep dive into the first thing, what you have done. That is the first thing which I want to talk about here. When I am going to say as a fresher, what you have done comprises your project title, experience title, and the profile. How do you mention it? Okay, project title. So let's come back over here. Let's first talk about the freshers. So if I'm going to zoom in a little bit so that you guys can see. So the profile which you write over here, what do you write here? Just 1 minute here. So you can see over here your profile name. We always mention our students that put a professional picture in your resume so that your resume is not just compilation of words. It belongs to a certain human. Okay, always add profile picture. I Sometimes it might be controversial, it might be something lot of people they say you don't need to include your profile picture, but I always mention that bring that human factor in your resume. If you put your image, and it should be professional profile picture, it cannot be like your selfie, it's a professional profile picture which you add your name, your title. You are not going to write your aspiring data analyst, it should be data analyst. If you have worked on certain projects, you have become data analyst. Nobody has to give you a stamp to become one. If you know how to deal with data, if you know how to work on projects, you have become data analyst. You mention your data analyst even if you are a fresher. Okay. Now we will come to each and every section over here. You can see profile includes your LinkedIn, profile includes your GitHub. So always you will add your picture, name, title, phone number, email ID. These are, of course, must be there. And your profiles, LinkedIn and GitHub, these two are the mandatory thing to look at. Okay. Mandatory thing to add over here. Okay. This is about your profile, the left side of it. The right side, if you look at your technical experience, this is specific to, let's say, Alma Better student. This is specific to Alma Better student. So you add it in place to kind of cover your experience. Data analyst trainee certification is given, and what you have done over here. We will right now skip this part. If somebody who is trying to create the resume on their own, let's say not through Alma Better student, I'm sure here in this session, a lot of students might be from Alma Better already enrolled, right? So here I'm going to skip this part. Of course, for you guys, you can add here. For everybody else, what I want to focus now is the project title. Okay. Project title I want to focus over here. How do you add the title of it? Because the first thing any recruiter they are going to look at in your resume is going to be this project. If you are showcasing, what is the title present over here? How you have added this part, right? This part which you see, how you have added it, right? And includes for all the other projects as well. How you should think about this title. Okay, hear me out. Keep your notebooks if you want to, jot down few important pointers. But it's going to be a really simple that we are going to start with choose real world use cases project. Okay, try to think about the project which you are trying to put over here. If you are as a fresher, first of all focus on data science, focus on the basics like dashboarding. I will come to that part in just some time, but the first thing is it should be something which is relevant for the business, right? Relevant for the real world. It should not be very hi-fi which nobody is going to be interested in. It should be very fundamental in nature as a fresher, and when you want to start your journey, the fundamental projects like bookings, churn, marketing analysis, like that you can add it over here, which is targeting any one of the industry, right? Now that is one of the things which you have to think about. How do you choose your projects? You have to think about business oriented. If you go to Alma Better dashboard, let's say if I talk about our dashboard, just give you an example. You can explore this, you will have all these lists in front of you. You will see the type of projects which are added over here, or everywhere you will see some kind of business angle or direction given over here. Airbnb booking analysis, then you have Glassdoor job prediction, you have everything here in some way or the other related to your direction in business. How do we implement it? Integrating ML ops in travel. So there is some industry that is being targeted, right? It's not just blank, there is some data. I am taking that up and bringing it over here. Okay, it's not about that. It's about choosing one of the industry which helps you go beyond your normal projects which you can do to elevating it to a certain level, because now we want to show this, right? Think from that perspective. I'm going to use this and I'm going to show this, right? So that's the first thing. Go more towards the real world use cases projects. Give specific tools and company linked titles, very important. No need here to think about if I write here in academic project, if I'm going to write OYO booking analysis, or let's say I'm going to write here make my trip booking analysis, depends upon what data you have got. Doesn't mean that companies are going to ask you to tell me if you have worked there or not. No, you have the data available on internet, you will have the data available on Kaggle. I will give you those links, or those things are there at the end. But here you have to mention that company, that data which you have used, from which company it is, And if you mention that company, it elevates the overall title of your project. You don't have to think about that only if I have worked here, I am going to use that name. You can put it over here if the data is for that particular company or similar to that company. It highlights your resume, it highlights your project in your resume. So give specific tools, company link title. So OYO booking analysis, I'm not going to just stop it there. I will add the crux of what I have done, Power BI dashboard. Like here, Instagram product case study. What I have done, I have done the case study of product. Just watch. What I have done, movie data management, right? So these kind of direct eye-catching titles are very, very important. And that comes over here, what you have done, right? What you have done, that is what comes here as a fresher. And lastly, add project proofs. It's so important that I cannot emphasize it further, right? I don't have to emphasize it on this a lot, because at the end of it, anybody who is looking at your resume, immediately he will look at everything like this, and then at the end of it, click on your project link. If you have not given this, the trust level will be lower compared to if you add this. This is like one of the our students uh, GitHub portfolio, GitHub project, which you see they have, like, it's not exactly the same. These are just the sample resume which I'm showing it to you. So here, let's say this is one of the GitHub readme of our student, right? I just want to give a shout out to this student, Abhishek Tyagi. So this person, this is what the GitHub readme of this guy is. He has added this link of repository of GitHub. He has mentioned all these projects. It does not have to be like machine learning and all. It's like movie analysis Excel dashboard he has created, and see how well illustrated he has mentioned over here. You don't have to look at everything and read it. Nobody is going to read it, in fact, apart from your interviewer. If your resume is being looked at, they will just scroll through it, and they will understand the depth of your work which you have done. So these are the things which you look at. The proof of project, the project should be business aligned, and in your title, these kind of first tools which you have used, and then company name should be included. And these are the things which are very generic enough. When you add the date when you have worked on, that is all fine. Now here, one very clear thought process which you guys have to think about. I need experience to get hired. This is what the thought process of freshers are. From there, you get more towards I create experience by doing. Okay. So I need experience to get hired. This is like very generic. I have seen people actually worry about a lot. No, think about the academic project which you are doing. You are creating an experience by those all works which you have done. So you have to showcase it like that. When you are talking about OYO booking analysis, it shows that you have created that experience by working on some skills, right? So change your thought process from you need experience to get hired, rather create that, showcasing your titles of projects, showcasing your whatever words you are putting over there, right? I'm just talking about project title over here for freshers. Now, the other side is, I'm sure a lot of you might be here working professional, working in different domains. I can see people here with titles over there, marketing executive, sales executive. So we have people here joined in who are working somewhere, right? So for you guys, how do you think about it, right? How do you think about it? So now here, if I look at the working professional, how they are going to kind of uh, talk about it, right? Yes, this is live. Thank you so much for asking. So now here, how do we add the experience as a working professional? Everybody is very much worried about, "Okay, I have experience of 2 to 3 years. Now I want to get into data science field." Of course, you don't have exactly relevant experience, but you don't want to exclude that from your resume. People, they remove those experiences because it is not relevant for data scientist or data analyst, and they talk about that in interview, and it becomes very haphazard. So if you have some experience, you should definitely show. How many experiences you have to show? Let's say past 2 jobs and one collated. Let's say you have 4 or 5 different companies, you just put past 2 jobs, and rest everything will be collated as one. So this is again something which you can think about later, but the thought process, how you have to think about, my past role isn't data related, right? This is what the thought process of working professionals are. You have to mention it as I bring domain depth plus new skills. Okay, this should be your thought process, this should be your theme whenever you go to interview as well. I bring domain depth, I have understanding of some domain, plus I have got the new skills in data science and data analyst. I want to proceed forward in this field. Okay, the first thing, let me now go to the experienced guy. If somebody is experienced, right, how their resume will look like. Okay, so first let me start with the profile. Let me give the basics of profile over here. Same thing, you should have a profile picture, right? You should have a name over here, and you can add the new role which you are targeting, data analyst, plus 3+ years of experience in business oriented roles. Don't write it as, let's say, customer support or business executive. Just write business oriented roles if it is non-tech. Okay, data analyst by 3+ years of experience in business oriented roles. This term itself, when you mention this, it's coming out as very positive to any interviewer, that you have the domain depth, plus you have gained the new skills over here as data analyst. Okay, now focus here how I have mentioned the work X. Okay, so I have mentioned the company, I have mentioned this particular title you have to think about. This matters a lot. What is your thought process? How do you write it? So the next part is this, right? Include domain analysis, right? Include domain analysis. It means whenever, whatever you have worked on, let's say if I talk about business executives, sales executives, right? So they work on CRM, they work on quality. I'm sure you work on Excel, right? So you mention it as business executive, CRM, and quality analysis. Some analytical thing you have done in your role, right? This is what I am telling here as include domain analysis, right? Support executive, customer analysis, right? That is something which you should be, right? This is something which you have to look into. Okay. All right. Next, you have to look at add analytical tools with purpose. Okay, so whatever you are mentioning over here, right, CRM or quality analysis, right, it should be with a purpose. Why did you do it? It should not be just out of very blanket kind of talk, right? It should be here as Excel for analysis or CRM for customer trends. जैसे मैं यहाँ पे डाला कि CRM and quality analysis, it kind of makes it as a whole, but I'm going to put it as CRM, then customer analytics, CRM for trend analytics, CRM for customer analytics. That kind of thought process, that kind of lines you have to mention it, right? That is what you write it over there. Okay, somebody who is, let's say, marketing executive, I will take the example of Kirtisman Datta, right? So here, if you are adding, let's say you are going to put marketing executive, and you must have used Google Analytics for the market research. You will add over here. If you have to add over here, you will write marketing executive, marketing executive, right? And you are going to write over here as marketing executive is first your title of what you have, what you are currently working on, and then next will be Google Analytics for market research. This should come in your title, what I am saying over here. That is how you think about, that is how you go forward, right? Next, add company relevant documents. Always, as I mentioned, you should put here the link where you are going to include your some operations, some company offer letter, etc., etc. That is how you have to write it over there. Now, I hope the first part is something which you guys have understood it very clearly, that the title, the experience, and the profile, right? Three things over here. How do you think about it? How do you optimize it, right? How do you write the title of that? What makes it stand out, right? Just writing business executive, you yourself will think that whether this will align with new role or not. But when you add just one more layer to this, you will see that the essence of that experience or the project goes up, right? Now we will go to the next part. We will talk about how do you think. Okay, how do you think? Now here, very important point, because this is one of the heart of your, this is your heart of resume, the project description which you write. you have to be very much vigilant about what's your thought process behind writing these project lines. Okay. So the first thing is, let's say if I start with freshers, your project line should not just show or give the essence of follow tutorial blindly. No, you have, you might have followed some tutorial, you have worked on projects by looking at YouTube video or Alma Better videos, etc., etc., but it should be more towards you have experimented and you have understood the impact of your work. Okay, I'll come to that, but this is very important thing to make up your mind. First, understand, I'm not going to put up lines which shows that I have followed the tutorial blindly. Rather, I will show experimented and understood the impact of things. Now, let me give you the example with the resume itself, how it is written. Okay. The first part, whenever you write the lines, you will see it starts with the clear problem statement, right? Analyzed customer behavior to predict purchase patterns. This is just an example. Analyzed hotel booking data sets using Power BI, creating an interactive dashboard that increased efficiency by 25% to find insights and diagnose the root cause. Now, sometimes these numbers are maybe not exactly as a fresher I'm talking about, but your estimation. So, what you have done, what impact you feel, that kind of number you mentioned it over there, it should be something which you can talk about. That why do you feel you have increased the efficiency? Because you have added some filters, you have given thought on integrating different dashboards. So, that makes the efficiency better to find the insights and diagnose the root cause, right? That is one of the things which you want to talk about over there, right? Define the problem statement. The first line should always be problem statement. Then you go into showcase methodology, tools, and keywords, right? You put here applied pandas, right? Concepts in Google Colab, then engineer data, whatever you have done with data, enhancing accuracy by this, utilizing DAX to create measures and calculated columns, right? This is where I am writing the methodology, what I have done with the data over here, right? What I have done with the data, what all tools I have used. And lastly, if I talk about the line, I will show the demonstrate experiment and impact. What impact I was able to generate. Now, in case of analysis, if I talk about, there is a insights which you bring in. Up as an analyst, how do you bring the impact? You do certain kind of analysis. Let's say examine hotel performance, including year on year booking revenue, guest state trends, provided visibility on supply and demand. These are the impact which you bring in by taking out the insights, and that can be used as data driven decisioning that will be made later, right? So it's not that difficult to understand. Always you have to think from this perspective, that as a fresher you want to include numbers, you want to show some numbers, and it should start with a clear problem statement which you write, then you add the methodology, and then you go to your experimentation and the project, in the project which you have done. If you do, let's say, machine learning projects, you add multiple algorithms which you have applied, you add it over there, you give one or two examples over there, so that you believe in experimentation, not just following something from the YouTube and putting out there that I have done it. No, the experimentation is something which makes you better thinker and better to differentiate over making things more better and improving overall the process. Okay, this is what fresher will do. Project description, very important, very clear cut. You will see few things which I want to highlight over here. Every line should be starting with verb. Okay, here every line is starting with verb. Analyzed, applied, examined, etc., etc. Here you have these things shown, right? Here you have these things shown. So think about this. These are the pattern which you have to follow, that everywhere lines will be starting with verb, which I want to mention it at the end. Now, going towards the working professionals, if you take this as an example, so when you work as a working professional, you have to show, how do you show your lines or the work which you have done in your company as a business executive, but you bring the touch of data analyst. So collaborated with cross-functional team to increase client acquisition, right? This is something which you do. Cross-functional team के साथ आपने connect किया. This is how you have to mention. Start with a clear roles and responsibilities and key impacts you have made. Okay. Look at this very clearly. Collaborated with this and key impacts which you have made. Then use tools and data to improve process. how you implemented something over there. If I talk about this, how did you implement, let's say, CRM analytics system, right? How you have mentioned about how you have done marketing trend over here. All these things you have to mention here as a tool and something which you would like to highlight. Let's say Excel based tracking system or CRM analytics you have done over there. So mention that in the line. And then lastly, you have analytical approach linked to KPI. So some data, something you have done over here, which increases some by some percentage, and there is some impact over there. Working professional, remember this very clearly, that as a recruiter, if I am going to look at your lines here, what you have done, I am going to definitely, or how do you think? I'm definitely going to search for that impact percent. What impact you have made, where you have made the impact. Let's say boosting average deal size by 15%, achieving a 50% increase in upselling and cross-selling opportunities. Now, these are some things which are very, very important. You just don't write lines, you mention about what impact you have created. Okay. So for the working professional, your thought process should be just executed given task to connected solution to business strategy, right? So just executed given task. Like here I mentioned follow tutorial blindly versus experimented and understood the impact. You can see the difference of thought process over here. Other side, just executed given task. You will see if you change your thought process to connected solution to business strategies, you will be able to see all these things. Okay. All right. So this is what your second section is. How do you think about it, right? The third section is now very straightforward. The first two sections, which I talked about, the project title, experience title, and the lines inside of it. These covers your 60 to 70% of your resume. Rest everything is very much like straightforward, but there is a thought process over here, which we have kind of understood how companies look at it after interacting with, as I mentioned, lot of companies, lot of stakeholders in companies, HRs, hiring managers, hiring partners, all those guys. When they interact with us, we get the sense of pointers which you should be thinking about, right? How it should be implemented in our system. So if I talk about, let's say, fresher here, why you matter, when I talk about, we will talk about the skills, because skills something which mention to or depicts your information about why you matter, right? Because you have those skills, what achievement you have got, what education you have got. Okay. So if I come over here, if I look at the fresher category, how do I write the skills, right? How do I write these skills? Now, the overall thought process should be like, I have just listed tools, degrees, and marks. No, highlighted tools and skills in project. Whatever I have, I'm going to mention over here somewhere or the other. Those terms and keywords should be present in your project description as well. So, how do I write the skills? So, let's say here I have in the left side technical skills. You can see there are three categories over here. In data science, this is a very common way of presenting it. You have some languages and tools. You have some data science libraries or framework which you use, like Pandas, NumPy, all these. And then you have one important thing which I always mention to students, that add soft skills. Add soft skills over here: team collaboration, time management, analytical thinking. Now, these are very generic terms which are mentioned over here. But the important thing is, these are important for ATS point of view. If you submit your resume to any company, they run through an algorithm to see how relevant your resume is as per the your job description company want to hire for, right? So team, this soft skill, it kind of gives you a person who are not just looks at the technical thing, but if you want to work in a company, soft skill is equally important. How do you convey your analysis? How do you convey your work? That is also very important. How do you collaborate also? Okay. So that is what is mentioned over here as a fresher. Achievements, again, in case of fresher, you have to write some achievements over here. No matter how you figure it out, you have school, colleges ka some achievement. You can have, let's say, Alma Better Code Hacker Award or something or the other, you can add it. Okay. Which showcase your achievement. Now, this is important. Academic wins plus badges. You can have certain badges from Hacker Rank. You can have certain badges from Lead Code. You can add those things. Whatever you feel it as top one or two, three maximum. Maximum is two. The maximum three you can go, but on an average, two achievements you can add in your resume. So that if you are adding, it should be highlighted as a fresher, top scorer. some paper presentation if you have done, let's say coding context, if you have participated in, if you have worked in certain maybe your college fest, add that. Nobody is going to ask for the certification for this, trust me. Nobody asks for the certification for, give me, if you have added here as college head of operations for event Akriti. Nobody is going to ask you, nobody will be bothered with that. They will be more bothered about what the experience you have brought in, the certification, education, but not this section. So you can utilize this section to showcase it in a best format. Education. So here you can add your graduation grad plus some relevant certification if you have got, which is like a wholesome renowned certification or some boot camp which you have done. It is okay to add that in education, because you spend in any boot camp or any course, if you are going to join, you are going to spend there 7, 8, 10 months, which should be added as a education, because you will spend at least 1 year. 1 year it takes, right? 1 year it takes, not just for this, I'm talking about getting final job offer, getting starting your role, but it takes 6, 7, 8 months to learn, work on things, making things better and better. So it takes a lot of time. It's not just 1 day or 1 week ka job. You have spent enough time, you should definitely own it, add it in your educations. You will see that which is added here as, let's say you have taken E&ICT, I'm just giving our example, any certification which is structured enough, which you want to add it over here, highlight it over here, you can add, right? So यहाँ पे जैसे ENICT IIT Guwahati, from which year to which year, certificate link, and then you have a college. Because if somebody is looking at your education and will just look at the bachelor's in mechanical engineering, this is not what you want to show. What you are going to show is this advanced certification in full stack data science, because this is very much relevant to the role which you are seeking for, right? So that's why I'm telling, highlight tools and skills in project, and also whatever you are adding over here, it's not just about adding that blindly. Rather, you will give a little bit thought about education may adding the certification, achievements may what you should be adding, how you should segregate your skills, and don't forget about the soft skills which you should be adding, right? For the freshers, I am saying. Now, I will move to working professionals. So, for working professionals, skills, achievements, and education, again, the same three categories. But here, your thought process should be mentioned years and roles, no proof of value. Okay? यहाँ से you have to move towards the thought process of impact, awards, and cross-functional success. Now, how do I mention this? So let's say if I look at the working professionals uh, resume, right? I'm going to see over here as, first thing, I have added in technical skills. I have added in technical skills over here. Just let me remove this. Yeah. So in technical skills, you will see that in this case, I have added technical things, Python, SQL, Tableau, Excel, Power BI, but also I have added CRM, Zoho if you have used, Salesforce if you have, or some other tools which you have learned during your experience, during your work ex. Okay. And also for you also, soft skill is mandatory to mention, mandatory to write it over here. So add those tools. You should not miss out on those tools, even if it is not directly related to data science, data analyst, but you should be adding those tools in your skills, right? You have to mention that CRM, Freshdesk, SQLs, Excel, Power BI, and all these things should be added over there. And soft skill, as I mentioned earlier as well, team collaboration, analytical thinking, etc., etc. Achievements for you, for working professionals, achievement should be very much related to the company which you have worked in, right? Again, 2 to 3 marks. You should be having, let's say, innovator award, star performance. Again, I'm mentioning this, that nobody is going to look at these, look at the proofs of this. You just have to add this, so that if somebody is looking at your resume, they will understand that company where you have worked on, you have added some, you have got some achievements, you are serious about your work. Wherever you work, you give your 100% over there. And this is what the proof of value is, this is what the proof of that commitment is, right? And lastly, we have this education. In education also, we have the similar thing, right? We have any education, if you have got, let's say here I have added master, just give an example. Now you can add any other education or boot camp which you have done along with the current one, let's say if it is non-tech or something which is not related to data science or tech altogether, right? So you can have certain certifications, boot camps which you can add over here. Okay. This is what why you matter. Think from very deep perspective, that how I have mentioned things, how I have included everything over here. Now, lastly, we have very simple but impactful, where you are headed. When I look at your resume, there is one thing where I start with, and this gives me a very clear cut understanding of where I am heading now. Okay, what's my future? How do I look at my future, and how do I want to work in the future? Right? That summary and publication. These two are the things which are very important in terms of going further into that. How do you include it for freshers? How do you include it for working professionals? So very coming over here. I'm open to anything. No clarity. That should not be your thought process while writing the summary. Clear, role focused, role aligned summary. Like here, data analyst with hands on project experience in SQL and Power BI, focused on solving real world problems. That is what I have mentioned. Just 3 4 lines or 20 30 words, but it starts with a story. Whenever somebody will look, they will not start it here, they will start it here, right? They will look at your summary and then go to the further aspects of it. So ensure that your summary shows the clarity and intent for the role. This is what the direction is. Now, next is publication. This I always, for all the alma mater students everywhere, I focus on this, that please add some of the publication which you want to put in. Right? Publication is need not to be in newspaper, need not to be very big. Whatever project you have done, let's say this booking analysis, so I have done some research during this project, so I will write an article. Let's say booking market analysis research overview, 500 plus reads. Simple, 500,000 plus reads, where you have written it on Medium. And this is just a sample how you are added like this. You have this, let's say, as a medium, and you are going to add it like this. Okay, this is just a one of the article which I have written, and it is added over there as a sample. Okay, now once you have added this, now your resume is more or less complete. It's more or less complete now. You have summary and publication added. All the sections are touched. And when we go to working professional, there also you have to give the same level of thought process, that here in summary, you are going to put your role which you have been working on, plus the new skills which you have got. Data analyst, business executive, leveraging frontline insights, SQL, Excel, and dashboard to transform ticket data into churn cutting or revenue boosting executive ready business intelligence. Nowadays, chat gpt is going to give you a lot of such examples. Okay, so you should use chat gpt as the relevant prompts, and you will get these kind of summary. Now for the prompt, these are the things as a thought process you have to mention. Repeating past role, no signal of transition, that should not be your thought process. Intent plus action, that should be your thought process. Domain plus analytics summary, right? Whatever you are writing over here, it should be the current domain plus some analytics summary which you want to mention it over there. Okay, all right, so I hope you guys are clear with this thing, right? I hope you guys are able to understand the difference. I hope you guys are able to get the direction over here, that how do you look at the resume and what should be your thought process, and what all section must be added, because those are the sections which are looked at by any recruiter. The last thing is publication for the working professional. So use case of analytical tools in, let's say, support executive role. Whatever role you have worked in, let's say this person has worked as business executive. So the title of your publication should be analytical tools in business executive role. As simple as this, right? So what I am right now working on is to how do I showcase my understanding? How do I bring in more trust to the recruiter? How do I show that I am all round person by showing the soft skill as well in my resume? That's how it goes. That's how you look at these things. It's not something which is very out of the world, but each and everything you add in your resume, you have to give a right thought process to that, right? And that is what I tried to give you by giving you two different things like this, right? Lastly, you have showcase to the world. Very important, you have added these things. But one thing which I want to highlight over here is showcasing to the world. It means going out of the cocoon. Okay, you are not going to be in your comfort zone. You have to come out to the world and showcase your resume, showcase your branding, so that everybody recognizes that okay, this person is open for the roles. This person is open for hiring or open to join. So I'm going to approach it, or I'm going to look at the profile. Okay. So you have to showcase this. It's not just straightforward. It's not just it will happen in one day, but you have to spend some time to it to keep on doing this personal branding and resume. So personal branding and resume. There are certain pointers. I'll just repeat it over here. Optimize and add LinkedIn profile and GitHub profile plus your profile as one mentioned. So your LinkedIn profile and GitHub profile, it should be added. So if I talk about over here, your LinkedIn profile, you can see it's same for working professionals or data or freshers, right? You can see here Rihan, one of our students, just you can see over here, he has added, created a overall LinkedIn, everything he's added over here. You can see how it is structured. I'll not go deeper into this, but there are certain things which I want to show you. See, this is what we direct from our end, that you have to do some post, right? You have to do some post. It will start highlighting in your featured section, in your activity. Whenever I'm going to click on your profile, I'm going to look at this, do some activity, right? Do some things over here, right? Like this person got recently got placed, I think just one day ago he has mentioned this. So these kind of things you keep on sharing. Before that, how he has added over here, you can see all these. It has to be optimized. Not getting into that, otherwise it will take a lot of time. Just I'm going to quickly put up all the pointers over here so that you guys understand this. Not very difficult now to go forward. Now next is GitHub profile. If I look at the GitHub profile also, you will see a touch of showcaseness. Now we have the GitHub profile of Abhishek over here. You can ignore a lot of these things. This is not something which you have to exactly copy, but it has to be meaningful. It has to be structured. It cannot be just blank, no images, nothing written over here. Put some time to add the bio, put some time to add the profiles, link your portfolio like your resume, link your LinkedIn profile, so that if anybody is coming over here, this showcase your personality, right? Then next part is link GitHub repo to every project. Every project should have the some proof of work, like your GitHub repository, right? Every time you work on some project, push it to GitHub repository and put that link with very clear cut elaborated readme that is written. Let's say if I go to any one of the project, let's say if I go to repository of Abhishek Tyagi, I was showing you one of the project, I'll show you another one. Let's say booking, hotel booking analysis. You can see right now he is written this as a very summarized. Maybe he is not adding in the resume, but the projects which you add in the resume, like this Hollywood Insights, he has added in the resume. You can see how elaborated he has mentioned it. Okay, some projects if you have not added in your resume, you can skip the such elaborated readme, but specifically the projects which you have added in the resume, there should be a elaborated readme mentioned over there. Okay, quantify numbers for each project line. There should be very little blank spaces, no clutter. Add profile picture and title over there. Your overall, if you follow the things right, if you add numbers, if you put the impact numbers, automatically your ATS score, the automatic tracking score, this is one of the thing which companies they use, right, to check your resume how relevant it is for the role. Okay, now it is done in the back end. They will not tell you the score as well, but it's not a rejecting criteria. It's just that first filtration it will be done. If your score is more than 70, 75 out of 100, you will see your resume is further looked at. So you have to optimize for the ATS, which is where you look at the keywords, certain important things in your resume which you like to highlight. And whatever I have mentioned in this resume, if you check this resume, it will come around 90 to 95 as ATS score for both of the resumes over here. If I talk about working professional as well as your fresher, it's going to be around 80, not 80, in fact 85 to 90, 95 tak jayega. And that is good enough to optimize for. How do you check that? There is a platform, Resume Worded. All those links are present in this slide. It will be shared. So here, all those things which you see can be checked. So whenever you add your, whenever you work on your project, whenever you work on your resume, you look at the platform. Let's say this Resume Worded, this platform you are going to go, right? This is one of the famous platform. You can go over there and then you can check for your profile, what is these your ATS score. So score my resume, score my LinkedIn profile. So you can just go over there, start it, put it over here, your resume, and check it for your ATS score, right? This resumeworded.com, this is one of the famous platform which you are going to use it. So you will just optimize for it. It will give you the direction as well, what you should be changing, some words you should change. It will give you the direction, and you can make your score. If it is greater than 75, then you should not worry a lot. You should be very much clear into that. Like your resume will pass through the automated system that companies has. And then you provide the name to resume before sharing. Yahan pe, let's say you don't share any gibberish. Whenever I, let's say, download this, if I'm going to download this resume, this is how it comes out. But this is not something which you are going to share. You will rename it to a something which is relevant over here. Okay. The other side, branding, which I was talking about, you share your projects and certificates with brief description on LinkedIn post. Keep on adding more and more people on your LinkedIn as connections. Not going to help you on Instagram. If you have too many followers over there, that's a different line of business altogether. That's a different line of career. But if you want to get into the professional career in corporate, where you want to start with data science as a career, then you have to have more and more relevant people as your connection. Publish medium and article over here and share it on social media. Track yours, show yourself and track the growth. Whatever you share it on your LinkedIn, just see if people are more interacting, see if whatever you have written is actually targeting the audience. You keep on doing this. You don't have to do it every day, but weekly also, if you do it once, you will see your profile going up and becoming very much relevant for people who are going to notice your work. And at the end, don't hesitate, support and appreciate peers. Okay? Hesitation is something you have to go out of that, because hesitation comes with your comfort zone. Come out of it and you will see the magic is going to happen. Okay, once you come out of your comfort zone, that is where you will see yourself getting more and more traction, and more people are connecting to you as well. So appreciate other people. If somebody has shared something, comment over there, interact with their post. Also, you help out others in terms of giving them some guidance. Those all things will make you more coming out of your comfort zone. So don't hesitate in this part. If you want to build a brand, that will definitely help you in the long run, and that brand is something what I saw as showcase to the world. So if you start doing this part, automatically your thought process is going to change in terms of how you are going to present yourself. Okay, this is what I wanted to mention in the overall building the portfolio, not just touching the basics. Rather, I wanted to give a wholesome understanding to you guys, right? And there is one thing at the end I want to tell you, that whenever you are going to put the projects or choose the project, think just one simple thing, that what role you are targeting. Okay, if you want to get towards the data science role, search for data science specific projects which you should be adding, and then rest everything will be coming over here. 2 to 3 projects for that role, it's good enough. If you are aiming for data analyst, then you don't have to mention machine learning and all those things. That's not going to help you. Keep the role specific, like Power BI dashboards, Excel dashboards, or SQL case study, or some EDA in Python. So all those things are something which you can do in your academic project. And again, same goes for working professional as well. When you add the academic project, and your experience should be aligned accordingly in what you have done. Okay. Now, all these platforms, as I mentioned, I have shown you our platform, which we generally use, our students use. Next is, let's say, Novo Resume. This is one of the platform which you can use. Good enough for the free version as well. But if you pay it, it's very cheap in the sense like you just have to pay, I think, 300, 400, and you will get a good. This is a good platform to make your resume more presentable, adding all the relevant things which I have mentioned during our session, right? And then these are the sample resumes, ATS platform, resume worded, and data and project. Generally, you can get from Kaggle, from data.gov. There are multiple different places, but Kaggle is one of the place where you can find the academic project, some project to work on. Great. So a long journey, but at the end of it, all these things which I have mentioned, these are the thought process which we have designed during our, for our students, for Alma Better students, how they are going to approach it, how they write it. It's not just straightforward, create a resume. It's not like that, right? Because if I'm going to say tell you create a resume, and you send me something which is out of the place, then in that case you are going to see that resumes are not getting shortlisted by our hiring partners, and our brand also goes down in that, right? So we have to give a very clear cut, precise thought process over there to take it forward. Now, as I mentioned, role of Alma Better, we just don't look at here as, you know, it's not just about doing the technical things, it's about doing something in a very structured format. It's about adding all the relevant skills which you need to work in company, to face the interview, and even before interview to showcase to the world. There are three things overall if you think about it. The learning which you get should be structured. Where do you start? How do you make yourself comfortable? How much depth you should be taking in? Second is, how do you work on your interview? How do you present to your interview? Third is, how do you showcase even before that, right? For the interview to reach to the interview, before that you have to build the resume, portfolio, etc., etc. These three things we have looked at in past 4 years, in past 5 years. Our problem is statement in itself is first job in tech domain. Whether you are working professional or fresher, we want to solve for first job in tech domain. Okay. Now, here few things I want to mention, curriculum highlights, right? Very quickly, I am going to tell you that, and you can go ahead and explore our platform, almabetter.com. You will see the curriculum and the courses. Now, it's not about you joining in and then exploring this. We have kept it, let's say, very much open here in terms of the tracks and the topics which you cover. Okay. The topics which you cover should not be like, if I go into Python, even after 2 years, you will say, I'm not 100% I know about Python, right? It's all about, as per the use case, what do you want to cover? And when you start it off, it's very easy to get lost in the ocean of information. That is why the topics, like first we start with Python, very important. Then you have EDA, then databases. You need to learn about SQL. How do you connect with cloud, get the data, and write the optimized query over here? Data visualization tools, how do you include the Tableau, Power BI, etc., etc. Applied business analytics. Now, it's not just about learning statistics, but how statistics is related to the business, right? How do you do the web analytics? How do you do the experiment design, A/B testing, etc., etc. And then lastly, you have, let's say, machine learning, where you cover these topics, and that's how it comes out. Now, this is for master's track. When we go to master's students, when we talk about the master's program, it's not just about as a fresher you are preparing yourself, you're getting a degree which will help you for multiple transition for next 5 to 6 years. And that is why there is a specialization track for master specific, where you will see distributed learning, distributed machine learning, where big data and all is covered, productionization, how you create the API and make it available for millions of users, deep learning, etc., etc., all the Gen AI and everything. How do you train it? How do you create it? That's something which is covered over here. And lastly, you have industry immersion track. This is a master thesis track, where master's thesis you work on, because this course what I'm showing is the masters in computer science, AI and ML. This covers your topics. This covers the journey overall, what you should be taking in terms of structured learning if you want to do. Now, topics are present, information is available. How do you want to take it forward? It's all about you. But at the end of it, if you are interested in exploring the direction what you should be taking, then it's worth to check out the curriculum section. How do you go forward from there? Okay. Now, key highlights what we cover in our master's program. So we have live sessions, live doubt support, right? So every day from Monday to Saturday, right? You will have people sitting there. You can just join and ask the question, right? Because doubt support at the end, we look at a lot. We have guided projects, mentorship sessions, lot of things over here, which you see on the learning side. On the placement side, you have seen one of the example right now, how we go in depth of the resume, portfolio, and the understanding of ours, what we have learned over the years. And that is why you will be able to help not just one or two students, so many students getting placed, so many students getting placed in reputed companies like Amazon. Soon Deepak will be joining on stage and he will be talking about his journey. So there is a thought process which we have given in this whole ecosystem, how it should be done, right? This ecosystem, how students are benefited, how companies are going to be more interested in our students, how do we make our system better and better, and that's how we think about it. Okay. Now, for our overall enrollment to last journey, admission counselor will be also joining in sometime. If somebody is interested, if you want to take this further, definitely you can have a look at it. You can explore things further. And academic counselors, they are expert in this to giving you a direction, right? Consider this as your career discussion you can do and get some understanding over there, right? So we have, as I mentioned, foundation track, specialization track, industry immersion track, which is nothing but your master's thesis project. And there is a Alma X in between, where we cover the placements, where we cover all the things around the portfolio, mock interviews, business communication sessions, etc., etc. And at the end, you work at top companies, right? So it's something which is well oiled thought process given over there, which we have collated through our, now it is more than 1200, 1300 hiring partners who have interacted, who want to hire from us, who want to get the profiles from Alma Better. Why? Because the resume, the skills, the way students think about any project, those all things are not just straightforward like any tutorial. It's something which is very structured in nature, and you will get that when you go through the curriculum section on the website. Now, with this, I want to now invite our alumni. One of the very good person I have interacted with. I have taken the mentor session. I have interacted with Deepak a lot. Now, Deepak will also be coming on stage, and let's hear him out and let's hear his challenges, because at the end of it, it looks like it's a one day success which you get becoming a business analyst at Amazon, but it's a effort, it's a long journey which somebody has to go through lot of challenges to make themselves comfortable. So let me quickly invite now Deepak on stage. Hey Deepak, hello, how are you doing?
Yeah, hi, look, I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining in. And I'm sure all the students over here who have joined, they will be really, really interested in, hearing your journey. So tell me from the start, right? So you are right now working as business analyst at Amazon, right? What
Yes,
motivated you to kind of take this career as an option?
sure. Earlier, before like coming to Alma Mater, I was working in TCS, and in TCS, I was working as a support role. It was much kind of like doing the repetitive task daily, and like I had worked 3 years there, and I was like there was no growth in my career. So and I was like from beginning only I was very much fond of like taking business decision from the raw data, how to like help business grow. So I was much more into that part. So like I wanted to explore that analytics role domain, and for that I've like on online I've gone through like various platform where they're like giving certification and courses, and the one of them was Alma Mater, where one of my friend had done earlier course and he has tell me about this. Then I also done my exploration of the Alma Mater website, that structured course, and like all things were industry requirement. Everything was the structure was learning was as per industry requirements. So I had like taken enroll in Alma Mater course.
Thank you so much. Now, Deepak, tell me one thing. This journey must be filled with challenges, right? Because when you want to learn new skill, you want to get into a career which has high growth, of course. But here, the first thing is there is a learning process which you have to go through, right? So, what were the challenges and how did you overcome? Because this is something which I want everybody here on call to understand and take that mindset from you.
Sure. Like for me, I was a working professional, like giving 9 hours a day at work and then learning like continuously for 6 months. For me, it was like burnout. For some days, like doing 3 hours of lecture daily, then doing assignment, then projects and all. So first thing was like it was like it required me a lot of commitment and dedication, to be very honest, to be stay for 6 months to complete the course. So that was like every day I have to motivate myself why I had joined the course, what my goals are, like how I will grow in my career. So I'll have to keep telling myself that if I get this 6 month done, then I will be at a new level, and everything will be sorted. So that was the one thing, to take the daily lectures, do the assignment and all. And also in doing like for every module we have a project. Doing those project, it was like doing very, very tough at the beginning, like doing, we had the theoretical knowledge, but then implementation in beginning it was very like doing first or second project, and that too on Python. It was like tough, but then like I divided the project in step by step. First, like taking out the data, then cleaning the data. So doing all the things step by step, and it helped me getting like completing the course, going into Alma Max, and finally at Amazon.
Great, great, great. So, Deepak, one more thing which I want to highlight, right? People are generally very much afraid about the coding, Python, SQL. So, what was your journey? So, when you started off, since you mentioned that earlier it was non-tech role, now you started learning something which might be very new to you, right? You must be doing the Python SQL coding for the first time. So, how was your journey? How did you start that, and how did you build that confidence in those tools or in those languages?
See, for Python, for any coding language, if you want to be at like pro level in that coding, it is the basic rule is practicing one or two question daily. You
Mm,
start like, and in Animator also we had started from at very zero level, and then we had gone to advanced level. So like by the classes only, if you are doing the first lecture on Python, just go to LeetCode or a HackerRank anywhere and solve one or two daily problems. That
mm,
will really help you, because coding is something that will come by practicing daily. If you are like skipping it, just going through theoretical lectures, that will not going to help. So what I was doing is that I was like, I had skipped also, like someday everyone like skip, but maximum days I had like doing some three or four question on lead code or HackerRank. That has really helped me.
great, great, great. And that is what I would tell everyone over here. Because if you want to make yourself comfortable with Python and SQL, it's just a tool, right? At the end of it, it's a language, but it's a tool which you are trying to learn to use, right? So if you keep on doing that practice, it will become better, right? Now, how do you do that practice? You have to become honest with yourself. Same thing, you should not do it every day, right? You should be having different questions. You should be having different topics there, and that will give you a broader sense and more confidence at the end of it, right? It's not something which is like very tough, I would say. It's not impossible, but initial days you have to be very calm in your mind. There will be errors, there will be issues coming in, but how do you tackle that? How do you make yourself strong that I will just get past this and things becomes easier, right? The initial two modules, as you mentioned, right, those are kind of like people are starting it off and they feel like it's very difficult, but when you go to SQL, then dashboards, it becomes very easy. Then it comes in a flow. Right?
Yes.
Great. So Deepak, one thing now, right now you are working at Amazon, correct?
Yep.
So, like, how was your interview experience with Amazon? And can you tell me like your little bit of work, what all tools you use, or how your daily work looks like? Just an
Sure.
overview of it, not getting into the inside of it. I'm sure of. Yeah.
Sure. First, my like interview experience. The interview complete process took 1 month. The first round was SQL assessment. In SQL assessment, we were given some 5 questions, and we have to submit those questions. And the second round was technical round, and it was completely SQL. In that, everything like from basic, they will start from basic problems, and then they will go to advanced level. How like like problem statement will be very, like they will ask the use cases of city, Windows function, case when, then all the SQL, like they will cover. They will not compromise on the SQL part. At
Mhm.
Amazon, they will take it, like they will be taking you to all 100% of SQL from you. And then third round was also a technical round, and in that it was SQL plus Excel plus data visualization and Python also. In that, like third round of interview, they would ask some question from Python, pandas, and from Excel, the basic formulas, and data visualization also, like when to use which bar chart and all. And then the last round was fourth round, and it was a managerial round. So, and in managerial round, it is all about the leadership principles of Amazon.
Got it. Got it. Now, one very important thing which I would like to highlight to everyone, right? So, we always mention about rules specific you have to think about, right? You cannot keep everything in your resume and because you think that it will look really good. You mentioned one thing very specific thing is for business analyst role, it was about SQL. It's about becoming really, really good at SQL, at Excel, at dashboarding, the analytical tools which you require to learn. Right now, people generally skip this part. They say that, okay, I'm not, I don't want to get there, but they focus on machine learning, and at the end of it, it becomes like a khichdi. ठीक है?
Yeah.
They are not able to answer machine learning. They are not able to answer the about these tools,
Yes.
and they always keep on flunking in their interviews, right? And that is what I actually want to give a mindset to everyone. That when you talk about the first thing as when you talk about your role, when you understand the role, focus on the things which are required for that role and make yourself best at it. Like you mentioned, the questions are going to be very much there. It's not going to be, I'm sure, nothing no question will go out of the curriculum or out of the
Yeah.
topic. It will very well, it will be there. It's all about how do you present it, how confident you are in that, right?
Yes.
Great. So thank you so much, Deepak. And any
Yeah.
any pointers you have, please go ahead.
Yeah, like about my work experience, I work at Amazon in a sub same day delivery. Like at Amazon, whatever you say that is getting delivered in 4 to 6 hours, that is done by our team. And I like closely work with my project manager and program manager, and I like provide them with all the business insights, like how we can grow this, like grow the team, make it more profitable, all those things. We have closely worked with the program manager. Yeah.
Got it, got it. And I'm sure it must be interesting because at the end of it, you see the impact of your work,
Yeah,
right?
we are like what we are doing, the impact, how the business is growing. It's recently, like in May there was a sale. In that sale we had achieved the, like our team has achieved the maximum units per day, so it was like really
Congratulations.
great.
Nice, nice,
Yeah.
nice. These are the positive things actually motivates you because at the end of it, you must be seeing that magic of using the data and how it impacts the data-driven decisions, right? So
Yeah.
whenever you take the decision, if you have some data backed in, you do the right analysis, you plan around that, right? That gives you a result, and that's the maximum dopamine, right? We all work for. Correct, correct. So thank you so much, Deepak, and thank you for sharing your insights. And I'm sure whoever has joined today, they have understood, they have looked at your journey as the inspiration. And guys, please give a quick thumbs up for Deepak for taking out his time on Saturdays. You can imagine how his weekend or weekday must be, right? So he's taking out the time for you guys. So give a quick thumbs up for him. Thank you so much, Deepak. Now we will
Thank you.
continue with Q&A. I want you to be here, right? So that you must be able to answer a few questions from our students, from our participants over here.
Yeah.
Now I want to start with one very interesting thing, right? And that is right now, I can see in the poll as well, people are participating. And if you are not, guys, please go to poll section, participate about how do you feel about AI replacing jobs. So people are scared about this, but also curious that is it going to be something which will happen? How we should be prepared ourselves for adapting it. So first question, my question would be, do you think that AI will replace the jobs of data scientist or business analyst? Your role, if I have to talk about specifically.
No, like it will help us, it will not replace completely, because I like miss also, like I also recently in Amazon we have created an AI chatbot, you can say, in that like program manager, or we can also like we have given the tables and all the columns information to that AI, and like we just give instructions, and then that like AI write the query for us. So
Mhm.
we have developed this Amazon internal tool only, but that also like the query written by them or the data provided by them is not 100% like correct. So at the end we only have to go through those data and like make the changes,
Mhm.
make it like and do the analytics part, then share with our stakeholders. So it will help us like make us more efficient, so we can look more at the business and like decision making thing. So it will help us but can't replace.
Yeah, yeah. And I always ask this question to everyone who joins it because at the end of it, you guys are the reflection of what happens in the industry and how complex things are. It's not going to be like very straightforward that there are some things which are repetitive in nature. It's always about how do you put the extra layer of thought process because we are building for humans, right? And there will be human present in the process. Machines cannot build everything for us. There has to be
Yeah.
human in the process who looks at the overview of identifying the problem statement. One other thing also which I mentioned to everyone is the major work is on identifying the problem statement and objective, right? After that, everybody team they aligns on it, work on it, figure out the problem statement, research on that, right? Everything else drills down from there. And that part always, that research part, AI will help you. Okay, AI will make you more efficient, but very difficult to replace. Huh. one thing will happen that you have to upskill yourself, right?
Yes,
It's
for
for
sure.
everyone, right? If you have certain gen AI applications, if you can learn that, that is going to save your job, not AI directly replacing you. If you know how to use, you will definitely be in the system and you will be much, much more efficient. So you don't have to be scared, guys. Curious is the right thing. Okay, be curious about it, explore this, use it in your overall system, and at the end, you will see the you will become confident. Great. Now, one question. Let me check, guys. Please put it in the Q&A. If you guys have any question, please put it in the Q&A so that we can answer it. Deepak is here. I'm here. We can answer your doubts so that after this session, you are crystal clear on how you should be thinking about this whole career and role. Right? So one of the question, I'm a woman with a career gap of 6 years. Is it the right course for me? Okay. Let's talk about. So one of the session we did, I think, two last month, where it was about the career break itself. So if you have the career break, how does it come out? And we have one of our alumni who had a career break of 4 to, I think, 3 to 4 years, and that person now, working as a data scientist. Now, what's your thought over here? So you have, I'm sure you don't have the career break, Deepak, right? But you must be, dealing with some colleagues, or you must be, interacting with some of your batchmates at Alma Better also. How do you look at this particular thing?
In my team, only one has recently joined, and she has 2 years of gap. So for like Amazon, at any company, they don't look at gap. If you have those skills and the implementation and technical skills, you are sound, then they can hire. But you should have the genuine reason why the gap was there. So that really doesn't matter. At my case, like I was earlier working with TCS, so everywhere like people are there who have some gaps. But the thing is, it should be genuine, like why you have taken that gap. If you have that answer, then it's sorted.
Correct, correct, correct. And very rightly mentioned that it's all about two things, right? First is that gap. What was the reason? It might be your personal reason, it might be some health reason, whatever it was, right? Because you must be doing something in that particular period, and there must be some learning out of it, right? You are not going to be out of work in that 6 years. You are doing something, right? Let's say you are managing your family, you are managing some of the situations you might have got. So first is that how do you talk about it? You have to be honest, you have to be to the point, and you have to be confident first in yourself. If I'm talking about it, I should not look underconfident. कि मैं खुद ही underconfident हूं, तो interviewer will definitely point it out, right? So you have to be confident, and you talk about in that in a certain way that it looks like with a positive mindset. The second thing is, now from now onwards, think about it. If you have the right skills, you will get placed. That is for sure. Okay. Doesn't matter whatever you had earlier. If you start, let's say, today, right? And if you are willing to give, let's say, 3 to 4 hours, 5 hours, dedicatedly to this particular, I would say, domain, you will definitely get a role. You will definitely start your journey. It's not something which is not going to happen even if you do it. Skills hai to job lagega. You just now figure out, okay, let me start this. Let me put my 100% over here with honesty, and you will see the result. That's what I'm going to mention it. Great. Anybody else? Any question? So one more thing which I want to mention, Deepak. So maybe people have some doubts around that. So how about the non-tech? Let's say if people are from non-tech background, okay, how does it look in industry for the data science as a career or data analyst as a career?
See, that again, it is like very that question. If you have skills, then it doesn't matter from which background you are coming, whether it's
Mhm,
tech, whether it's not. That doesn't matter. You should have the skills, especially in our like computer science background and IT companies. If you have the skills, they will not look after your certificates and all.
mhm.
Just the skill, and you know how to implement those things. Everything is sorted.
Done, done. So this is where we are going to end it, guys. I am sure you guys must have liked this session. Again, give a quick thumbs up, guys, if you really understood the topics, the thought process which we wanted to give you. I hope you guys have liked this session. You have understood, and we have not just we don't cover just scratch the surface. We want to give you a thought process, and that's why you will see in every slide it's not just about few pointers, it's about how do you align your mindset. Okay, so be confident, be honest, and you have to be consistent across this if you want to transition. It's not rocket science. In fact, rocket science is also not that difficult if you take a structured journey over there. All right. So thank you so much again, Deepak. Thank you for taking out of your time. And this is where we are going to now end the session. Now, next part is going to be academic counselor joining in, guys. If you anybody here interested, want to explore further about the course processes and how do we go forward, how are we going to how Alma Better helps you out, admission counselors more than enough qualified to have a discussion with you. There is one question. Let's take the last question now. Okay, as an aspiring data analyst with engineering background, how can I land the business analyst? What skills should we have? So if you can give the you know brief about.
For for business analysts, the skills required are you should be very good at SQL. Like from zero to advanced level, SQL is must. Without SQL, we will not survive any analyst role. Any analyst, whether it is data, finance, or anything. For that, SQL is must. Then you should be very good with Excel. And in Excel, like all the formulas, how to use VLOOKUP, match, index, all the basic formulas, you should be aware of about that. And then data visualization tool. Any one data visualization tool you should be good at, either Tableau or Power BI. These three things are very basic, and if you are like having intermediate level knowledge of NumPy, Pandas, that is great. With this, you can like easily land a business analyst job at any organization, whether it's product based or startup.
Correct, correct. Rightly mentioned, Deepak. And from my end, I'll mention you, Suhel. You can explore our platform or almobetter.com, right? You will see the topics are given, modules are provided. So if you go through that, I'm sure you are going to get placed at the end. All right. Thank you again, Deepak, so much.
Yeah,
Let's
thank you.
now, end from here, right? Next admission counselor will be joining in, and enjoy your weekend. Take care. Bye bye.
Sure, thank you. Bye, have a good.
All right. I can see one question. You heard about Microsoft, they laid off 6,500. Amazon also thought on that. What's your thought? Sure. Now that Deepak is not here, see, at the end of it, this process in this economy, Dhananjay, it's always going to be there. There will be layoffs, there will be hirings. Don't worry about that part a lot, okay? Because people are not going to become jobless. If you think that they have laid out 6,500 employees, there will be companies who are hiring as well. In this economy, new and new companies are also coming up. How we looked at it, right? These companies are buffed up right now. इतना मत सोचिए कि Microsoft अगर lay off कर रहा है तो what's there in the market में these companies like Google, Microsoft, Amazon, in lot of cases earlier in past 5 to 6, 7 years, they buffed up themselves with a lot of employees, and now they feel they want to make it more optimized. That happens with all the companies. Okay, so you just have to think about that here. How I am going to make myself skilled, and you will see a direction. You will see a company where you will be landing in, and you will be working over there. Okay, because this will always goes on. This will always go on because some they will lay off employees and then they will hire some employee with different skills and all. You don't know what type of employees they were, right? How they were contributing in the system. If you go join the company and if you are contributing, you will see yourself there. You don't have to worry about it क्योंकि at the end of it भाई job तो चाहिए ना, right? सबको job चाहिए, कहीं ना कहीं तो आप काम करोगे, right? And if you are interested in this field and if you worried about कि lay off हो जाएगा, that's not how you should be thinking about it. Okay, there is enough opportunity, and it's a world, not just India. There are enough opportunities. If you have the right skills, you will see yourself landing it. Okay. All right. I am come from business background, having experience of 8 years in business. Great. Sagar, you just have to think from this perspective that data science is not in classes. Also, I mentioned this a lot that data science, it's not just about the code. It's not just about one or two tools. It's about the thought process a lot, the logic building. How do you think about doing the analysis? How do you approach any problems? So those things are for next other session to talk about in more detail. Now, I will invite from our end admission counselor. Please come in module number 6. Yes. Okay. I'll definitely look into that. Now we have here Srinivas. Hey, Srinivas, are you able to
Yeah,
hear
hi.
me?
Hi, sir. Yeah, hi. I'm here.
Thank you so
Good
much.
afternoon,
Thank you
sir.
so much, Srinivas, for joining in. Now, students, all of you guys, if you have any questions, if you want to, take this journey further, join in this structured learning which Alma Better has kind of gotten from the experience of 4 to 5 years and designed it. Please listen to Srinivas, have an interaction, get all your doubts cleared, and take things forward in a positive manner. Thank you so much, Srinivas, and thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
guys. Give a quick thumbs up. I'm going to take myself out of the stage. Srinivas, stage is all yours. Thank you so
Yeah,
much,
thank
everyone.
you so
Have
much.
a nice weekend, everyone. Bye bye.
Sure. Yeah, thank you so much. First of all of you, okay, for joining, the session and keeping it. So my name is Srinivas Kadam. Actually, I'm working in Alma Better as a senior academic counselor. So basically, my job is to provide a roadmap to the learners who just having some sort of queries or questions, and if they want a proper roadmap, like how Alma Better works, how basically their placement criteria works, okay, how basically they provide the pathway to the people who are just currently working professional or having just completed their graduation, or who just wanted to start their career specifically into the data science, AI, machine learning domain. If you wanted to join or basically work from home jobs, or rest of things that we are going to discuss in this particular scenario. So before that, just wanted to have one request. If you guys are having any questions, queries, feel free to put your messages in the chat box. Okay, so basically I'll just read it and I'll try to solve everybody's queries. Okay, it's possible, definitely I'll help you with that. So I'm going to start basically how the things works in particular Alma Beta. I'll just explain you about our student dashboard portal, how you are going to get the placement, where you can see your recorded classes, live lectures, and all this stuff. Okay, so just give me a second. Let me share my screen so it will be visible for all of you. Yeah. So I hope my screen is visible to all of you guys, right? Yeah. Sure. So see, specifically, if you check like why Alma Better or why Alma Better you should enroll in this particular program. Okay. So first of all, we help each and every learner or each and every student, to study in the group, because see, whenever in your colleges, when you're in our schools, we used to do a group study. So basically, which used to help a lot to each and every learner, So basically, that they can go through the problems or queries, because most of the times we, as a friend, we discuss all those queries with our friends only, right? So that is the reason in the particular program we basically focus on the practical learning and how basically we help with them so they can do group studies as well. Okay, now in this group studies, what exactly is the motive and behind that? So the main thing is that this is all about your practical learning, right? So practical learning, basically if you are doing through a projects, so before joining any company as a data scientist or data analyst or the business analyst, whatever the designation that you are targeting, after completing this particular program, you will get a proper exposure about it. Okay, then we basically help you with the how to ready with the jobs and all. So we'll come on each and every point or whatever that we wanted to discuss in this particular program now. Okay. So if you talk about how the things gonna work here, okay. So here, why Alma Better? First of all, okay. So this 1.5 hour conversation you had with our alumni as well. You had a conversation with Alok sir as well, right? So here, basically, once you join the program, okay. So this program is going to help you to build your skill set as per the company requirement, okay. Because see, most of the people might they have learned many things in their graduation, but these are not the industry relevant, okay. Might you can also able to understand, like you have given your 3 years 4 years in your graduation, but nowadays companies requirement it is totally different, and they also knows that whatever the things these learners are learning in their graduation, this is not there as per their requirement, right? So there, that is the reason we have designed this curriculum in a such a way that every learner should get a properly industry relevant skill set, what exactly is the requirement from the industry, and definitely what they should learn throughout their particular duration that they're going to spend in this particular program. Okay, and we know like everybody is coming from technical and non-technical background, okay, and even though we don't learn all these things in our graduation as well, so that is the reason we are going to start everything with this particular scenario. It's like we are going to start everything from the basics, if I'll talk about. Okay, now then if we'll talk like how the things gonna work here. So in this particular program of 12 months, you can consider it's throughout we are going to learn everything in the live classes. So we are not going to offer you, basically it's a self-paced. Okay, so specifically it's throughout that, you will get a live class. So your classes will be 3 days in a week that we are going to offer you. Okay, so it's not on daily basis, because we understand most of the people are working professional, what of the people are learners as well, right? They are students as well, right? So might they're having their different activities as well throughout the day. So your classes will be 3 days in a week, and the timings will be like, if I talk about the days, so 3 days, that means the classes will be on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And if I'll talk about the timings, our timings are in the evening from 8 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. So these are the standard timings that we follow. Now, let's suppose, as a human being, we also know that sometimes there are possibilities that we are not able to attend the live classes, correct? So in that case, what exactly we do? Okay, we offer you a recorded lectures as well. That means after completing the live class of 2.5 hours, we are going to offer you the recorded lectures as well. Reason being because, see, as a human being, we also know that many things that we are going to learn in first month, second month, third month, but somehow we are going to get it forgetting as well, right? So you should have some sort of medium. So how you are going to access it? So you will get all the your recorded lectures in a single dashboard as well. Okay, now this is about your recorded live classes. So in the live classes, you are going to learn everything theoretically, right? You will get the lectures from the faculty. There will be a guest lectures as well. Even though the teachers who are going to teach you throughout this particular live classes, these are the people who are already carrying more than 10 to 15 years of work experience in the same domain. Okay, so you will get a practical understanding, like how basically the things works. Okay, what sort of skill set you required. So they are going to guide you from basics to advanced. Okay, now let's suppose in the live class, if you are having any sort of queries, so who is going to solve you? Okay, Mike, you are having that sort of question in your mind as well, right? So what exactly we do after completing your live class session of 2.5 hours, we are going to offer you more 30 to 40 minutes. That is our doubt clearing sessions after completing the class. Okay, so you can have your one-on-one classes, and after that you can have your queries as well. Okay, so we are going to take some time and we are going to resolve all your queries in the class as well. This is about the live class. Let's suppose on the next days, if, because the live class is not there, right? So who is going to solve your queries? So yes, we are having mentorship options for all the learners. Whatever queries if you are having, what you can do, you can connect with your mentors over a call, you can connect with your mentors over a Google Meet. So in all possibilities ways, we are going to help your learners to solve all their queries. Okay, now this is about how you are going to solve your queries. Now the main thing is that data science and all these things is all about not the theoretical learning, it's all about the practical learning, right? Because in the live lectures, I told you, right, in the live lectures, definitely you are going to learn everything theoretically, but how you are going to implement the knowledge, right? Because in the data science, in the data analysis, or any sort of, it's all about how you are going to use it in a practical way. Because in the end, you need to understand how basically the software works, from where particular scenario, what sort of data that you need to collect, how you need to segregate the data from unstructured way to structured way, right? How basically you need to use all the tools, the softwares and technologies given by the companies, right? So how basically you are going to do all these things. So we are going to help you with more than 20 plus capstone projects. Okay, plus there will be more than 1,000 plus coding problems as well, or the assessment as well, that you are going to learn throughout the particular program. So the capstone projects mean these are the live projects from the different MNC companies that we are going to deliver it to you. So you will get a practical exposure before joining any company as a data scientist or the data analyst or the business analyst as well. Okay, so this is how the things gonna work here. Okay, and I already told you, right, there are basically a doubt clearing resolution sessions as well that we are going to basically provide on daily basis in this particular program. Okay, now once you complete this program of 6 months, okay, we are also going to help you with the training or the placement part as well. So how basically the placement works here? So in Alma Better, we offer you 100% job guarantee about your job as well as salary package both, because we are having type up with more than 700 plus hiring partners with us. Okay, and so how these hiring partners work? So we are having all this basically tie up with those companies who are already MNC companies, who are startup and mid-sized companies as well. Okay, so how the things gonna work here? So this is the things that you are going to learn. If I'll talk about technical skills, okay, so technical skills, how you are going to grasp it? Okay, so throughout the live lectures, okay, then there will be a lab experiment that we are going to assign you to. Okay, because I told you, like 2.5 years of theoretical learning that you are going to implement it with the practical way. Then there will be a projects and assignments, because on daily basis you can evaluate yourself, right? Like through the projects, like what are your strong points, what are your weak points, how good you are learning in the particular program. And then in the end, there will be a group discussion that you can do with your fellow group mates, who is basically in your batch as well. Okay, Now let's suppose sometimes, see, as a when we are going to start this data science learning and all, I'm not going to say most of the people having a understanding about data science, but sometimes and someday we feels okay, we feel very low, okay, like sometimes we face, okay, I'm not understanding all these scenarios, even though like giving a 2 times 3 times learning as well, it's not get to understand. So what you can do to motivate yourself, you can directly have a one-on-one conversation with your mentors. Okay, so he's going to offer you the pathway, like what sort of pathway. So let's suppose, because see, everybody's learning pattern is totally different, right? Some people basically will able to understand in first go itself. Some people need to put extra efforts, like they need to revise the topics 1 time, second time, 2 times as well, then they will get the proper understanding. Okay, so this is how you are going to get one-on-one mentorship. Then there will be a guest lectures as well. Okay, guest lectures basically is from those people, okay, who are already working with the top MSc companies. Okay, so they will come. And why we are giving you the guest lectures, because see, as an industry there is a drastic change that you will, if you will able to see, before lockdown the IT companies or the corporate world was totally different. Now after lockdown there is a drastic change in the corporate world, right? Because nowadays companies is focusing more on the people, not based on their education qualification, based on their skill set, what exactly the skill set that you guys are having. Okay, so that is the reason. So why we are arranging the guest lectures for you. So guest lectures, basically the people is going to give the understanding what exactly happening in their companies, or what exactly happening in their, or basically different filament companies as well. So they are going to help you what are the skill set as of now the company is expecting from the learners or the candidate who is applying for the particular job role. Okay, and then there will be a community participation as well. Community participation basically is those people who already completed the course, okay, who already working with the different companies. So that sort of group you'll able to see in your student dashboard portal. Okay, and after that there is a mandatory Alma X. So what is basically Alma X here? Okay, so once you complete your 6 months of program, because see, this master's degree, the curriculum is for 12 months, right? But here what exactly we are doing, we are not asking learners to wait for 12 months to get in their placement pool. Okay, so what exactly we are asking them to do? Okay, once they complete their 6 months of program, okay, they can start applying for the basically a placement. They can take a participate in the placement pool. Okay, but before that, see, as an institute, when we are giving you the job guarantee, that means we are when we are giving you that the job and the course that we are coming, it's 100% job guarantee, right? So we are also going to analyze our candidate throughout the 6 months, whatever the skill set that they have learned. Okay, and how you are going to analyze it? So we are going to conduct one test, that is the AB CAT exam, Alma Better Comprehensibility Assessment Test. Okay, so there will be, so as a master students, you will get n number of attendance in this particular master student. Okay, but here is main thing is that why we are taking the team exam, that we need to guys to understand. Okay, because see, when we are taking the exam, that means we are going to analyze the capability of the learner as well. Okay, so for what particular companies that we should forward him his profiles. Okay, so in the 6 months of duration, through the exam you will also able to understand where you stand basically in the crowd, because you guys know like there is a competition everywhere, right? So even though if you are offering you the 100% job placement, where we will analyze throughout the exam what exactly the capability of the learner or the candidate, what are his strong points, what are his weak points, then accordingly we are going to help you with the placement pool. So how the things works, so once you crack the exam, then there will be specifically 1.5 months of preparation that we are going to offer you to each and every learner. Okay, reason being, because see, many people, I see, as a I'm into this particular industry, corporate industry, from last 5 to 8 years, right? So I have seen the people, they are having plenty of knowledge about this particular domain, but most of the people, they don't know how to represent the knowledge to the interviewer. Okay, so throughout the preparation, what exactly we do, first of all, once you enter into the placement pool, first thing that you are going to do, that is building your resume, because that is the very important part and the mandatory part before entering into the corporate. Because see, no any interviewer or the companies knows you personally. So how basically they are going to judge you? So your first impression will be through your resume. Okay, and as the first instance, we also know that you are going to work on more than 20 plus projects throughout the 6 months of your particular duration of your foundation track. So we cannot mention or we cannot send the same resume to each and every organization, because nowadays, I don't know you guys know or not. Okay, so nowadays every companies, they are taking the help of AI. They are using a tools like ATS tools. Might most of the person or the learners might have made some sort of resumes as well, right? So here, what is the use of this ATS means applicant tracking system tools. Okay, so they are, see, nowadays you also know that if there are 100 vacancies in the companies, as unemployment rate in India is like anything like this. So you also know that like the competition. So even though there are 100 vacancies, 1,000 and 1,000 people are going to apply for those vacancies, right? So nowadays HR people are not having that sort of manual time, that they will first of all download your resume, or they will go through your resume and then they will call you. So what exactly they do, they put some sort of filters in their ATS tools as per their requirement, and then they run it. So when they are going to run in particular scenario, so the people who are basically matching their criteria through the kill set or the keywords, only those people profile will get shortlisted and the rest of the resume will get rejected. So the people whose profile is getting shortlisted, only those people is going to get the call, because most of the people, even though in this particular section as well, right, might you are applying from different platform like Naukri.com, and number of job portal are there, right? But might you are also thinking like, sir, I'm applying from last 2 to 3 months, but I'm not getting a single call from any company. So definitely there will be some sort of mistakes, or that you are going to, I believe that you are making. So that is the main reason that your resume is not getting shortened. So here, when we're taking the guarantee about your job, that means we are going to make sure that your resume is as per the company's requirement, as the company standard, and as per the company's requirement, we are going to do the modification as per the company's requirement throughout this particular of your journey of the placement part. Okay. Now, once you complete your resume building session, then we are going to help you with LinkedIn upgradation. Because see, nowadays, when you most of the people like through the LinkedIn, they directly approach you, okay, for the job role. So what exactly we do in the LinkedIn profile building? We understand their company's requirement. We understand your profile. Accordingly, we'll update your projects you have completed, the certification throughout the different companies that you are going to receive throughout the particular program. So you need to upload it. You need to upload in your resume. So your candidate or your LinkedIn profile will get upgraded, and most of the people you're able to see is as well. Okay. Once you complete that, then there is a digital profile building that we are going to help you for your project portfolio. So this is how the things works in 1.5 months of training. Once you complete the thing scenario, then there will be 30 to 40 mock interviews training that you are going to provide you to each and every learner. Why that is the mandatory part in the placement pool? Because see, learning for the 6 months or 12 years is not a big deal for anyone. Okay, everyone can learn, everyone can get a knowledge, because everyone is a graduate here, right? But in the end, how you are going to implement it, how you are going to showcase your skill set, whatever the thing that you have learned, that plays a very important part your placement. Okay, so here we don't directly send you for the interviews. So what exactly we do, we offer you around 30 to 40 mock interviews. So what exactly is the reason we are offering you 30 to 40 mock interviews? Because we also want our learners to okay, we are going to analyze our learners. And how basically we analyze, we ask one of the industry expert to just take you first of all the mock interviews, because in the mock interviews, as a learner or as a candidate, you will also able to understand what are the mistakes that you are making throughout the interviews, because that plays a very important role. Before joining for the any company's final interviews, you will, if you are getting a proper understanding what are the mistakes that you're making, so I don't think so any one of you will make the same mistakes in their final interviews, right? So that is the reason we ask you to give the mock interviews, where in the mock interviews you will able to understand, you will able to build this proper confident. Okay, you will not feel the nervousness in your final interviews, and even though you will get a proper feedback after each and every mock interviews, what are the mistakes that you are making, what are the main implementation that you need to do if before coming for the next mock interviews. So where you will also able to understand, you will able to understand your lack of points, like what are your strong points, what are the weak points. So this is how the things gonna work into your final mock interviews. Okay, so once you complete that scenario, then basically we offers you the final placement. Okay, so I hope like for everyone this how the placement works is clear for you, right? So now the main thing is that if I'll talk about the companies, so we are having all the companies starting with MNCs, we are having mid-cap companies, and we are having startup as well. So as per your requirement, guys, we are going to help you with the placement part. So you can see all those companies, even though you will able to see all the companies on our official website as well, almabeta.com. If you visit, you will able to see all the companies basically which I am showing to you. Okay. Now, when it comes about the salary package, because everyone might is thinking, okay, sir, I'll do the program, I'll put my 100%, I'll put my soul and heart throughout the 6 months of program. So what sort of salary package that I can expect? Okay, so see, if you are joining in this particular domain as a fresher in tier 1 cities, it's starting between 5 to 10 LPA. Okay, but again it depends on your capabilities. I'm not telling you like you cannot target more than 10 LPA, but like again, as a fresher you can expect up to 10 LPA as well or more than that as well. But again, it's all about what sort of skill set that you are having. Because see, currently we are having our office in Bangalore. Okay, so I have seen the learners in prior batch or before that. Okay, some of the learner they are ended up getting 7 LPA, 8 LPA, 9 LPA as well. Some of the learner they are getting more than 10 LPA, 15 LPA, 20 LPA as well. Okay, the game here, it's all about the skill set. The game is all about, because see, in the end, as institute, we are going to help you with the interview preparation or okay, but in the end, how you are showcasing your skill set in front of the interview, that going to play a very important part in your throughout the interviews. Okay, so this is how the salary package as a fresher or as a working experience that you can expect. Okay, then come about this particular mentors. So I told you, right, who is basically going to teach you throughout your 6 months or 12 months of program. Okay, so these are some people who already work with top MNC companies. Currently still they are working, but they are taking some time out, and they are going to teach you throughout your live lectures. So basically I already told you the time, right? The classes will be 3 days in a week: Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and the timings are in the evening from 8 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. After 10:30, there will be a separate doubt clearing sessions that we are going to handle for 30 to 40 minutes. So if you are having any questions, queries, you can feel free to reach to these particular mentors, and you can have all of your queries resolved in the same lecture. Okay. And for the rest of the days or the rest of the lectures, when you are not having proper your classes, live classes, in that particular days, you are having your mentors, you can connect with them, you will have a proper live support, you can have a one-on-one conversation with those particular mentors itself. So this is some profiles of the mentors basically who is going to teach you. So this is a Rachit Jain. If you see, he's already working with the BCG. This is one of the MNC companies. He's already working as a data scientist. Then we are having Ravi Ranjan. He's already working as a data scientist. So he's a basically a servant day. He's already a data science consultant. Okay. So why we are asking these working professionals only to teach you? Reason being, because see, these are the people who knows what exactly happening in their companies or in different companies, what exactly is the expectation of the companies. So that is the reason you are getting a proper understanding about only those people. So that is the reason we are going to get you the live lectures throughout the help of this particular industry expert itself. So there are some more profiles: the people who are working with the Microsoft, the people who are working with the Apple or the Herman. Okay, so these are the person or the people that you can consider who is going to teach you throughout your 6 months of program or the 12 months of program that you are going to coordinate with. Okay, so this is some success stories. You can see basically the people who are coming from non-technical or the technical graduate. Okay, who is getting the job. See, now most of the people who are having, see, whenever we have a conversation or whenever I'm going to have a conversation with these people, okay, I have come with one doubt with these people. Okay, that sir, I'm coming from non-technical background, so how will the people or the company is going to consider my profile or not? Okay, so I would like to tell you only one thing. Okay, so see, when we talk about the technical and not technical, means that is the only difference, is that the technical people just having a proper understanding about the programming language. Okay, even the programming language means, even though the people who are doing the engineering, only in the, if I talk only computer science background people and the IT background people, they are only learning the skill set or the you can say a coding language in their particular curriculum of 4 year of degree. Okay, but rest of the people, if I'll talk about the chemical engineer or the mechanical engineer or the civil engineer, okay, these people, yes, they are having a technical degree, but they are not having the knowledge about the coding part, that you need to understand. So nowadays, even though most of the companies, they doesn't care about your education qualification, they care about what exactly the skill set that you are having, because they want a person who are having the proper understanding about these tools and technology, because they also know that, see, every company knows, after giving you the placement, they also know that you need to train them as per the requirement for next 2 to 3 months. That is the reason they offer you the training, right? So you should not have that dilemma. Okay, I'm coming from the non-technical background, the company is going to consider my profile or not. Okay, so how you can clear this doubt? Okay, simply go on the LinkedIn. Okay, check in your job description. Prior, like if I'll talk 5 years or 10 years back, the people or the company used to mention specifically, I want a person who is coming from the technical background. Now if you'll check in the bracket, in the capitals, they will mention any graduate. Any graduate means the person who is coming from technical or non-technical background is eligible for this particular job position. The only thing is that you should match the criteria as per the company requirement. So your education qualification doesn't matter, even if you're coming from the technical and non-technical, that doesn't matter. Your only thing is that you should have the relevant skill set that is required from the companies itself. Okay, so I hope I clear the doubt about the technical people and non-technical people, right? So now I'll basically help you to understand how the student dashboard basically looks like once you enroll in this particular program. And then between, if you are having any questions, you guys feel free to put in the chat bar. I'll help you with that particular scenario. Okay, so now just give me 2 seconds. I'll just help you to understand how our student dashboard will look like. Okay, but before we start the discussion about the student dashboard, I just wanted to understand, you guys have any sort of queries, so feel free to reach me first of all. Okay, so then I'll just start how basically our student dashboard looks like here. Okay, so before that, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put one form. Okay, so basically the form is for those people, okay, who just wanted to have a one-on-one conversation with me, okay, who just wanted to understand, who want a counseling about your career. Okay, I'm just going to drop a link in the chat bar. Okay, so you can just guys going to fill the application form, so that inquiry is directly will come to me, and I'll have a one-on-one conversation personally with each and every person, okay, who is having the difficulties and who want to counseling about their career path. Okay, how the placement works and all these things. Okay, so first of all, yeah, I have posted the form. Okay, okay, so first of all, let me go through the doubts that people are having. Yeah. Okay, so one of the person who is basically, yeah, how much time to able to join the company. Okay, so when we talk about how much time to able to join the companies, okay, so see, basically every company is having different criteria when we talk about their placement scenario. Okay, so some companies, you see, like even if we'll talk about this, these are the IT jobs or non-IT jobs. Okay, minimum 3 to 4 round of interview you need to go ahead with. Okay, so when we start your placement, we are going to simultaneously going to provide you the interviews until and unless you are not going to place. Okay, so might there are possibility you will able to crack some interviews, okay, after one round or second round or third round or fourth round, because it's not going to happen that you are going to crack the, until and unless you're not having the exceptional skill set, it's not going to possible. So most of the candidate might they will able to crack the job in first round of interview or the second round of interview, might the person will able to crack at least third round of interview, but the company will reject their profile due to their budget. So there are different scenario. So if I talk how much time it will take you to get placed, so once you complete the foundation track, 1.5 months of training that we are going to provide you. After that, we at least required at least 1 month. If you have given your set and hold, so at least 1 month it required for your placement time, because every company, as I told you, right, it's not a non-technical job where you in first round they will take interviews in one day itself. So there will be 3 to 4 different rounds basically. So yes, it will take 1 or 2 months to get you placed. That is the time, the ideal time that we required. Yes, but again it depends on person to person, because see, some person might targeting more than 8 LPA package, or some person might targeting more than 10 LPA package. So it's up to you, like it's about how you're showcasing your skill set. If the company feels yes you are the worth it candidate, we can offer him 10 or 15 LPA packages, so they will not hesitate. But before that, you should also have the proper understanding about that. Okay, now Sagar Jain is having the queries, right? So basically I'm coming from a business background, will I consider as a fresher or an experienced professional, it will be considered as a career gap or not? Okay, so see Sagar, like how the things works here. Okay, before joining any company, okay, every company they do their BGV, like background verification. Okay, background verification is, even if you are coming from any, if you are work with any organization, you should have a proper skill set, or you should have a proper understanding about the requirement. Okay, you need to submit all your valid documents with them. So if you're already having prior work experience, they will not consider you as a fresher, they will consider you as a working experience. But only thing is that you should have a proper relevant skill set about that particular scenario. And even though if I'll talk about the career gap, the career gap should be a genuine. Okay, so I hope like I am clear about your particular doubt, right? Now, when Rishabh Bande, he is having one question. Just let me go through it. What about the average starting salary package for students getting after master data science program of Delma Better? Okay. So see, when we talk about the salary package, okay. So in India, if you check, most of the people they are doing the certification course. Okay. Even if you ask your friends, even there are a number of institutes offering a certification course. Very few institutes, if I'll talk in India, Almabet is one institute is offering the masters, because in India, very few people are having the masters. So masters basically is the mastery in the data science and machine learning. So whenever you are going to sit in, let's suppose we will take one example. Okay, Rishabh, for you. Okay. So let's suppose one person is having a certification course, or he just did a certification, and person is having the master's degree. Okay. So most of the people or the companies, they will consider the person who is having the master's degree. That is the reason. Even might you are having a friend who basically go to abroad. Reason because see, in India also they can do the post graduation, right? But they don't do. Reason being, they knows that when we talk about the master is all about the practical learning. That is the reason the people from India, they go to abroad, because they also know that the Indian education system, they, even though if they are doing a post graduation, might there are possibility for the different companies, but the perspective or the look of the companies or the perspective of the interviewer might be different in terms of if you are having proper master's degree, because they know if you are having a master's means you are having a proper understanding, because in the certification, yes, the people having the understanding, but as compared to the master, it will be a low. Okay, so now Sagar is having no more questions. Okay. I'm into my family business with experience of 8 to 9 years. I have no corporate experience. See, that's not a problem at all. Okay, Sagar. The only thing is that whenever you are going to sit in front of the interviewer, okay, you should have a genuine reason after working with your family business after 8 to 9 years why you guys are coming into particularly corporate world. Okay, so you should have a proper genuine reason. Okay, if you are having a genuine reason, see, most of the companies, they will consider, it's not like they will not consider you because you are having a business, because in the end it's all about the business. Okay, because every company, they wanted to grow, they wanted to grow, so definitely they are not going to reject your profile, they are going to accept it. The only thing is that you should have a proper understanding about their throughout their designation that they are ready to offer you. Okay, so now I hope like everybody's doubts I hope like I have cleared it, because in the chatbot I am not able to see any more questions. Okay, now I will able to I'm going to represent the student dashboard once you enroll in the particular program, how basically the student dashboard looks like, where you will able to see about your student recordings, your live class schedules, where you'll able to see your mentorships and all these things. So just give me a second, I'm going to share my screen once again, where I will able to share you like how your student dashboard looks like, where you're able to see everything about whatever the discussion that we had as of now. Okay, so I hope my basically student dashboard is visible to you, right? Okay, okay. Okay, so guys, see, basically once you enroll in the particular program, okay, so how the things gonna work here? So you will get a dashboard, student dashboard like this. Okay, so simply what exactly you need to do, you need to go on official website of Alma Better. You need to log in once you complete the admission part, once you pay the fees and all. Okay, then you will able to see everything over here. Okay, so this is how your student dashboard basically looks like. Okay, so in the home you will able to see all this information, okay, about your modules. You are going to track all your activities, you will able to see your upcoming classes. So it's like a home, where in the home you'll able to see everything, because in the home also we are having a hall, we are having a bedroom, so we are having kitchens, right? It's just a proper standing, okay, where you're able to see in the home button all your courses, all your modules, about your practice coding assessment, your practical quiz assessment, your capstone project from which particular companies, what are the objectives, your supplementary courses. Okay, you learn your instruction, everything you're able to see in basically in your home background. Okay, now when we talk about, so now you'll able to see in my left hand side, you will able to see home option, then after that there is a learn. Okay, learns basically where you will to see all your progress. So once you complete your live lectures, we'll add some sort of ratings over here in terms of percentage. Okay, then basically we'll able to, once you complete your assignments, case studies and all this stuff, we are going to add it, so you'll able to see your progress on the daily basis. Okay, so here you'll able to see this is how the your first 6 months of foundation track is going to look like. So first module will be your introduction to the, sorry, the computer programming. So this is for first 1 month. Okay, so you'll able to see in first chapter there are different lessons. So we have segregated this particular chapter in a such way that you should not feel, okay, a sort of confusion where I need to learn, what are the need I need to learn. This is a proper pathway that we have given to each and every learner. Okay, so you'll able to see in the lessons also module by module, or you can say chapter by chapter, that we have mentioned everything in this particular program. This is how in the first module in 1 month, this is a first chapter. There are 6 chapters that you are going to learn. Second will be a Python chapter for, okay, then there will be, once you complete these first 2 modules or the chapters, then you will able to analyze it, how you are going to analyze. So we are going to give you a quiz assessment. Okay, so sometimes we are going to provide you the lab learning as well, in the group lab learning. So basically, you can able to understand the theoretical learning, how you need to implement it to the practical way. So we are going to provide you the lab access for it. You don't need to purchase any lab access, we are going to provide you the cloud access for it. Okay, then once you complete that, there will be your objected oriented learning. That means in terms of your practical way of learning that you are going to learn. Okay, then you are going to learn your research, about your research paper. You can learn about your revision topics and all. And after that, there will be end course assessment that we are going to conduct. Okay, why we are going to conduct? Because see, I told you right here, its progress is that it's a live class, right? So in the end, we also need to understand what sort of progress that every learner is getting. So if you are making any mistakes, so we can connect with you one on one, and we can help you like how you are going to build your confidence and all. If you are making any mistakes, or in this particular duration of 1 month, we'll able to understand what exactly the mistake that you're making. We can provide you the feedback. Then accordingly, we don't want you to waste your next month. Okay, this is how you are able to track your place. And yes, you can see the here the ebook. Ebooks is basically you're able to see, you can able to download all your ebooks. Okay, we are going to provide the access for it. You can download it, and this is for your physical copy. If you want to take a printout, it's up to you guys. It's up to you. You can just take a printout as well, because some people will be comfortable to watch the or read it through the laptop screen or phone screen. Some people are comfortable into the physical copy, so it's up to you. Okay, now before start moving ahead, I forgot to tell you one thing. You will able to see in the black box there is a help option, right? So when I was talking about this, basically one-on-one mentorship, right? So this is how the things gonna work here. Okay, so you will able to see the live support. Okay, you can just simply click it, or else you can raise your tickets, or you can raise your chatbot option as well. So there are three different options in throughout your live lectures. You can connect with your mentors. You can raise your ticket as well. Let's suppose for most of the working professionals, might they are available on Saturday and Sunday. So you can raise your tickets. You can mention all your queries in which particular date you required a particular one-on-one mentorship session. Then accordingly, the team will connect with you. They will provide you a proper slot, okay, through a Google Meet that you can join, and accordingly, you guys can have a one-on-one conversation. So light support is basically is from starting between from morning 10 a.m. till 7 a.m. It will be there. Okay. So you can have a live support as well. And chatbot is, you also know that you just need to put your queries. It's as a chat GPT. You can put your queries. You will get all your doubts resolved through the help of the chat or the AI as well. Okay. So this is how basically you will able to see your all tracking recordings here. Okay. So once you complete the 6 modules or the chapters that you can consider, there will be a capstone project that we are going to assign you. Okay, why we are going to assign you the capstone project? Because in the end, I told you right, data science or the data analytics or the job learning, anything that you can consider, it's all about your practical learning or your practical understanding. Okay, so how you are going to implement it? So you are going to help you with the projects. Okay, so why the projects? Because this projects is going to provide you a proper understanding how the things gonna work here. Okay, so this is how you will able to track your activities after completing each and every module. You will get ebooks, rational databases. You will able to see all your modules of the foundation pack of 6 months, right? So even though we are going to provide you the credits as well. Okay, so this is how the things gonna work here. Okay, so next, if I'll talk about the classroom program, so classroom program is basically, this is the or where you'll able to see your upcoming classes. So you'll get a proper understanding even if you click on the add to calendar. So you will not able to forget, you are having a proper understanding about your classrooms, trainings and all. Okay. Upcoming means your scheduled times. Okay. Because it like today I'm having a basically class at around 8 p.m. So I'm already having basically access, right? So I just need to click on calendar. So it will automatically get, and I will get a Google notification. If I'm busy somewhere, if I some able to forget all these things, so at least Google is going to provide me the notification about that. Okay, simply you can just need to click on this particular scenario join group, and you can just join the classes. Completed basically is a very important part here. Completed means basically is the thing where you'll able to see all your class recordings starting from first day till next 12 months. That means the course, the access of this live classes will be there for some particular timing. Okay, but when we talk about the recordings, the access of these recordings will be there with you guys for a lifetime. It's not just for the 12 months of program. Okay, so whenever you feel in future you want to do, or revise your topics, it's up to you. You are having the recordings. Whenever you feel you wanted to watch it, you can watch it. So why we are giving you this access? Because as a working professional, we understood like sometimes we are, because we are a human being, right? Sometimes there are possibilities that our medical condition will not be a good. Sometimes there will be a function in your family. So there should be some source that you can go ahead and you can watch all your recordings and you can revise your topics as well. Okay, you can connect with your class group as well. So this is how you are going to watch your recordings. Okay, no, it's about the practice program. Okay, so what exactly is the practice? So practice means basically more practice. Okay, because you know the quote, practice makes man perfect, right? So here also nobody's going to give the spoon feeding. Okay, you need to do more practice, because I told you like there is a high competition in the market. So you should have some extra skill set or the extraordinary skill set that should the interviewer should feel, okay, why you are the worth it candidate, why should invest 10 to 15 lakhs or 8 lakhs on your investment, right? So that is the reason more practice you will do, you will get more exposure. It will be easy for you to crack the interview, right? So that is the reason on every modules we are going to provide you basically a coding problems, okay? And even though it's not like we are going to directly provide the hard, okay, it's starting with easy. In easy, then you will get on the moderate level, and it will be in the hard level. Okay, this is how the you will able to see all your coding problems. Okay, now here you will be able to see the supplementary courses. So what is the use of the supplementary courses? So these are the add-in courses. Let's suppose some people, okay, they feel, sir, I'm a student, I don't have a job, okay, I don't do a job. First of all, I need to put my heart and soul, okay. So the supplementary courses is something, okay. These are the add-ons for all the learners who were having a plenty time in throughout the day, and they wanted to learn in more better way. Okay, so you guys can go it. It's a free of cost. You don't need to. We're not going to charge you money for the supplementary courses. There are plenty of courses that you can go ahead. Okay, you can go ahead with the job questions for the data science on the real time. Okay, the foundation track of DSA algorithms and all. Guest lecture all there. Okay, career guidance, everything is there. Communication. Let's suppose the people who are having a difficulties to talking to English, so they are having a communication workshop. Okay, so everything that we have given to our learners, the only thing is that you need to put your 100% over here. Okay, then there will be a coding assessment. Okay, then you are going to get a quiz assessment as well. So coding assessment, quiz assessment, basically are these things. Definitely you are going to face all these things in your interviews as well. In your final interviews, there are companies going to take your coding assessment and quiz assessment. So here you will able to understand. Let's suppose if you are planning for this Accenture company, so what sort of coding problems they will ask you in an interview, you will get a proper understanding about that particular scenario as well. Okay, now when we talk about the practice, so it's more for you guys, it's not for us, it's for you. More practice you will do, okay, more understanding you will have about what sort of company's requirement, what sort of skill set that you should have. Okay, then when we talk about the projects, so projects is something basically where you need to implement everything in the better way. Okay, you need to understand like what exactly the problem statements, how you need to implement it. So when you click on the start now, okay, then you will get a proper basically a database in the form of spreadsheet. You need to all use the tools like advanced Excel, SQL, Power BI, Tableau, Matchboard. There are n number of more than 15 to 20 tools or technologies or the software that you can consider. You are going to learn throughout this 12 months of duration. Okay, and here basically you'll able to see all your tracks. Okay, then there will be a one-on-one mentorship. If you want to book a session with the different mentors, you can simply click here on book now. Okay, then you can able to see if you want a guidance regarding the interview, if you want a counseling regarding the job search, you want a guidance regarding the resume building session, if you want a counseling, academic counseling, or the project guidance, you can simply click here. Okay, once you click here, you go on the next. Then as per your expectations or as per your preferable timings, you can just put the slots here. Okay, you can put the timings as whenever you are available, you can put your timing slot as well. Then accordingly the team will connect with you through the Google Meet. You can just put the slots as per your availability, you can just book it. Okay, now this is a very important part that we offers to each and every learner, because in the market there are institutions they don't offer it. Only Alma Beta as of now is offering you. Okay, that is a job portal access. Okay, and that job portal access that we are going to offer you from first day onwards itself. Okay, reason being because see, before joining any company or before starting your preparation for the placement, we want our learner to have a proper understanding what exactly coming into the market, what are the requirement of the companies as of now. Okay, then accordingly you can prepare your mindset and the prepare that what sort of companies that you are targeting. Okay, so here you will able to put your filters for which particular location you are looking for a job role. Okay, there are different locations. If you are targeting, let's suppose if you are targeting for the Bengaluru, because Bengaluru, Hyderabad, Mumbai, Pune, okay, these are Delhi, Noida, Gurugram, these are some tier 1 cities. Okay, if you are targeting the tier 1 cities, and because you also know that in tier 1 cities getting a better salary package options are the more. Okay, so you can see from first day onwards itself. Okay, you can just put your location filter over here. Okay, so once you put the location where you can see you are looking for a remote job, or you're looking for a hybrid job, or you're looking for a on-site job. Okay, in this particular domain you can choose if you are looking for a data science or web development. In the enrollment type, you will able to see internship. The people who are just a student, they can see if you want the internship, you can simply click on the internship. The people who are looking for a permanent or full-time job role, they can put a filter of permanent job role, and accordingly you'll able to see on daily basis what exactly coming into the market. Okay, what are the skills that they are looking for the candidate. So here you will able to see everything. Okay, JD means job description. You will able to see what exactly the responsibility that you are going to handle, what exactly is the company's requirement. Okay, so this is how what are the skill set they required. So you will get a proper understanding so that you can prepare yourself in a such a way that at least you are expecting the company's requirement. Okay, so this is how the things works. So I hope like you got a proper understanding about the student dashboard itself. Okay, so I'm going to stop the sharing my screen set. Okay, now you guys can have, and first of all we'll discuss about your queries, and then I'll drop my number, my personal number. So if you guys wanted to connect with me, you can directly have a conversation with me as well. So before that, basically we'll have a doubts like Q&A session. So guys, you can put your queries or questions over there, what sort of questions that you are having, then accordingly we will move ahead with this particular conversation. Yes, any questions or queries you guys are having, please feel free to put the messages in the chat bar. And even though what I'm going to do, I'm going to share my personal number with you guys. Okay, you can just note it down, or I'm just putting in the chat board as well. So you can directly text me or my WhatsApp number, or you can directly call me on this my number. This is my personal number. Okay, and the yeah, I already dropped my number in this particular chat bot. Okay, and the main thing is that I already shared you basically a Google form, right? So Google form is basically for those people, okay, who really wanted to enroll in this particular program, who wanted a counseling, who wanted a career path, how the things works in this particular program and all. Okay, you can just simply fill the application form. Once you fill the form, okay, we'll connect with you guys one on one. Okay, we'll try to understand what exactly your requirement. Okay, and first 20 people who basically will come and wanted to join the particular program will get a better scholarship as compared to the rest of the people. Okay, so I already dropped my numbers over here as well, so you can directly note it down. Okay, and you can directly ping me or my WhatsApp number if you guys wanted to enroll in this particular program. Okay, and any questions if you'll have, just feel free to ask me in the chat board itself. Yeah, so any questions or doubt? Okay guys, so I hope like nobody's having any sort of questions. Okay, I already dropped my contact number with you. Okay, you can simply connect with me or my WhatsApp number. You can directly call me on my personal number if you need one-on-one counseling from my end. Okay, I'll help you to understand your requirement, even though the people who are having a career gap or the people who really wanted to start their career, okay, who is coming from non-technical or technical background, who might preparing for the government exams, now they feel okay, now I want a plan B. So definitely I'm going to help you with that particular scenario. Okay, I will provide you the proper pathway, what sort of the dedication or what sort of preparation that you should do to land a job, specifically into the tier one cities like big MNC companies who really want a salary package starting as a fresher, want a salary package starting more than 5 to 8 LPA in between particular slab, or more than that. The working professionals who are really looking for a better designation, okay, who really wanted to start their job into specifically into the IT companies and looking for better salary package more than 10 LPA or 15 LPA, you guys can feel free to me. Okay, I'll help you to understand your requirement and I'll provide you the proper pathway how you can succeed throughout this particular journey of Alma Beta. Okay, so thank you so much guys, thank you so much for joining. We are going to end this session as of now. I already dropped you the number. The form is, again, I'm going to drop you the form. I believe you're already having the form here. Okay, you can just check here, but if you want, again, my number is already there. Okay, so you can directly connect with me and definitely I'll feel free to reach you. I'll connect with you personally one on one and I'll give the proper pathway about your journey as well in the Alma Beta. Okay, thank you so much guys, thank you so much for joining here. Okay, and have a nice day to each and everyone. Okay, bye bye.